episodes to get here.
Where is she?
And you won't believe what you're about to hear.
What happened to her? She's dying.
Now, the one thing Agent Scully needs to survive comes with a high price.
Quit the FBI. Come work for me.
The X-Files 100th episode. Tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Time now for the Erickson Countdown to Kickoff. And up next, the Detroit Lions and their electrifying back, Barry Sanders, take on the Washington Redskins. Tom Brenneman and Ron Pitts are ready to bring you all the action. So let's send you on out to Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Rowjohn, Maryland.
A cloudy, rainy day outside the nation's capital and another sold-out crowd at sparkling new Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Rowjohn, Maryland, between this matchup between the 4-5 Lions and the 5-4 Washington Redskins. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Alongside Ron Pitts, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to the NFL on Fox. Ronnie, I know you believe in a lot of ways that these two teams have mirrored one another in '97.
Yeah, well, they've had their good moments and their bad moments. And you talk about that, I think you got to talk about the two quarterbacks. For Washington, Gus Frerotte, sometimes I look at him, Tom, and he's a Pro Bowl player. Other times I look at him, he looks like a rookie. I think the key is not to let him throw too much too soon and protect him with a good running game. On the other side of the ball, Scott Mitchell. Scott has got a bad habit right now of throwing a big interception at the wrong time, down when they're getting ready to score. He did it last week against Green Bay, and it's costing his team points. He's got to stay more consistent, as does Gus Frerotte.
Well, if the quarterbacks have been inconsistent, you're going to see two of the greats on the other hand in the backfield, Terry Allen of the Redskins and the always amazing Barry Sanders.
Hey, this is going to be exciting. These are two of the best in the NFL at running the football. Terry Allen, last week against Chicago, over 120 yards rushing. When he goes over 100, this team usually wins, and that's a fact. The other guy, well, you know about him. That's Barry. He's going to get his. What you don't want him to do is totally dictate the game like he did down in Tampa Bay. What I think is going to be key, Washington's offensive line. They're big, they're strong, they're physical. They're going against Detroit's defensive line, which is smaller but quick and fast. Tom, it should be an interesting matchup.
Well, Detroit needs some kind of answer, including a couple of games in the playoffs. They've dropped 17 in a row to the Redskins. Last time they beat them, 1965. NFL Sunday on Fox continues after these messages from your local station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
Finding a home that's just right for you, a home that meets your special needs, may be easier than you think. RE/MAX Associates across the continent lead the...
Having your car stolen can be a real blow. You work hard for these things. That's why Farmers Insurance is all about getting things back to the way they once were. From the way policies are written to the way claims are handled, everything we do is about getting you back behind the wheel. It's what we think auto insurance should be about. Let's face it, if somebody really wants your car, they're going to get it. But with Farmers, we can at least help get you back where you belong.
It's a wake-up call.
Just eat me up inside.
Bon appetit. When Kyle's big promotion gets stalled.
It's your hair. My hair? We don't think it's corporate enough.
He's wigging out.
Oh, we saw you sitting there looking like a black David Cassidy.
Living single.
Monday at 5 and 7 on Fox 33.
The music of LSG, Levert Sweat Gill, and the Parenthood's Robert Townsend on Vibe.
Monday at 10 p.m. on Fox 33.
Always dreamed of owning a 4-star restaurant. What growing boy hasn't?
Crackpot luck.
No, our new head chef.
Someone's in the kitchen with Niles.
All of you come in. I'm just printing them now.
On Frasier. Monday night at 6:30 on Fox 33.
Monday on Keenan, Academy Award-winning director Quentin Tarantino and Baywatch beauty Donna D'Errico. Keenan.
Monday night at 11 on Fox 33. You're watching WTVZ Fox 33 Norfolk.
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
And now, the Ericsson countdown continues.
Set to go, the Washington Redskins and the Detroit Lions. A series that the Lions would just as soon forget all about. If you include a couple of playoff losses in 83 and 92, they have lost 17 in a row to the Redskins and haven't beaten them since 1965. They have never won a game in the nation's capital. But now, of course, the Lions will play the Redskins in Maryland under first-year head coach Bobby Ross, a native of nearby Richmond, Virginia. And on the other side of the field, Norv Turner, and this is 4th year, 11 games under 500, but they have improved every season. In 94, they won 3, 95 won 6, 9 victories a year ago, and still looking for their first playoff spot under Norv Turner.
And the thing to remember, this is November. If you've got any dreams at all of playing in January, you better step it up, forget what happened the last couple months, and play some football.
Lions have won the toss, selected to receive. Glenn Milburn, 33. Standing back in a very short kick. Milburn from his own 10. Crosses at 20, finds a seam, and brings it out to the 30-yard line before he's wrestled to the ground by Chris Thomas. Now Detroit looking for better offensive production than they had in the loss to Green Bay last week. Scott Mitchell, you see, started the season very well, but the last 6 games, nearly a 2-to-1 ratio in the wrong direction, interceptions to touchdowns. Robertson Tharp the tackles, Compton and Harding's the guards, and the Pro Bowler Kevin Glover is the center. Barry Sanders, we'll keep an eye on him throughout the afternoon. A milestone day it should be for Sanders. Morton and Moore, the wide receivers. David Sloan, the tight end. And already an injury down on the field on the kickoff. Russell is down for Washington.
They're looking at it, his eyes. It's hard to see what happened. You know, that opening kickoff in a game like this, and we talked about it being November, and you know the intensity picks up. It goes to that next level of play. And a lot of guys aren't always ready for that. That's Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez, a special teams coach for the Redskins.
Antoine Russell apparently appears to be okay as he will trot off the field, and that's a good sign.
You can see right there, he just got a dinger. You know, a lot of these rookies don't know right off the bat. Things pick up. Shane Bonham, number 96 for Detroit, delivered the blow. He knows now. They're not in October anymore.
No. So 1st and 10. Detroit begins this drive from its own 30. Moore in motion, the play fake, rolling the other way is Mitchell, and he throws. Did he make the reception inbounds? No. Out of bounds was Herman Moore. Defensively for the Redskins, a banged-up bunch, a number of changes along the defensive front. Owens and Lang, the rookie, the tackles. Butte and Keel in the middle. 2 rookie linebackers in Smith and Jones. And the secondary, arguably the best pair of corners in the league in Green and Dishman, Richard and Campbell, the safeties. Ken Harvey is back today, and we'll see some action. Barry Sanders first carry, and no room to run. Wrapped up by Greg Jones, a rookie out of Colorado.
And that's the whole key for the Redskins on defense. They haven't played all that great against the run, and that's what their numbers show. But today they've got to corral Barry Sanders. And people don't talk about man-to-man tackling and technique against Barry anymore. They talk about pursuit, getting bodies around him. If you're the first guy there, like Greg Jones was, you take your shot.
Brian Harvey, or Ken Harvey rather, is checked in for the first time. Ken Harvey, a 3-time Pro Bowler on this 3rd and 15. Mitchell throws too high for Herman Moore, and then was nearly intercepted by Jesse Campbell, so 3 and out for Detroit.
We talked about it, Tom, in the beginning of the game. What's going to happen with the quarterbacks? The quarterbacks have to be consistent. Right there, you overthrow Herman Moore at 6'5", 6'4 and a half. That's a heck of an overthrow. Scott Mitchell's got to get that ball down.
John Jett punts it away, and Brian Mitchell,
he's got a lot of room
from his own 28. Crosses the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Terrific field position on the Redskins' first possession. 12-yard return by Mitchell. Well, we talked about the inconsistency at quarterback. The same holds true for Washington and Gus Farrat. Bear in mind, he threw 11 interceptions the entire season last year. Already 10 this year. Patton and Perdonish, the tackles. Johnson and Dahl, the guards, with Ulanake. In the middle, Terry Allen returned last week and rushed for 125 yards. Ellard and Shepard, the wide receivers, and Jamie Asher, a big target at tight end. And the give is to the first man through, Bowie, and he crosses midfield to the Detroit 49-yard line. A gain of close to 10. We'll call it 9. Redskins look to run the ball against this Detroit defense. Waldrop and Porcher at the ends. Ellis and Wells in the middle. Reggie Brown having a terrific year. The veteran Jamison returns for the Lions. And in the secondary, a lot of injuries. Raymond and Westbrook, the corners. Carrier, the free safety. And Ron Rice replaces the injured Van Malone at strong safety. 2nd and 1. Too high for Leslie Shepard.
See, when your quarterbacks are struggling or they're a bit inconsistent, as a coach, you take the ball out of their hands and you put it in the hands of your running back. Now, you saw there, play ago, Stevens had that nice run there, Stephen Davis. Expect the Redskins to run the football and use that to stay away from having to put it so much in the hands of Gus Farrat. Excuse me, that's Bowie that had that first play, that first run play.
Redskins leading the NFL in third down conversions, and they'll cash in again. It appeared to be enough on the carry by Terry Allen. And he's to the 48, and it is good enough for a Washington first down. Mention the name Michael Westbrook, #1 pick 3 years ago out of Colorado. Injured his knee 4 weeks ago in the Dallas game, and he's active for the first time in 4 weeks today. And you see very little production from Westbrook. Allen on the delay. Bounces off one tackle, and he picks up close to 3.
And that's the guy right there. We talked about it in the open. When he goes over 100 yards, this team does very well. You saw when he was out, that's what happened. I mean, this is the type of runner. He's a classic Washington Redskin running back. I mean, low center of gravity, tough, strong. He can pound it in there and be physical, but he can also run away from you and make the big play, the big runs like he did last week against the Bears.
2nd and 8 for Watt to throw. They're coming to get him. A screen, and read beautifully. Is that a completion? No, they're calling it an incomplete pass.
The whole key was whether or not he had possession. The officials didn't think so. And the Redskins have a guy down. That looks like Patton.
It is Joe Patton.
That's the left tackle, and they've had a problem with injuries on that offensive line. They got it corrected. He's up. Looks to be okay. They got it corrected. Bob Dahl comes back at that right guard position, but when he was out, they had to do some shuffling, and that's Russ Grimm right there.
Grimm, the offensive line coach of the Redskins and a former Hog. He's still a Hog, he'll tell you that.
But he's done a great job of shoring that team up and trying to get some consistency when they've had to move people around.
Darrell Ashmore has replaced, pardon me, Ronnie, has replaced the injured Patton on this 3rd down play. Play fake to Mitchell, good protection, gunned over the middle, first down to the 30 to Henry Ellard, the 15-year veteran out of Fresno State.
And I think it all starts with the protection. Gus Farrat has the time. Watch the offensive lineman. They're going to give him a nice pocket. Trey Johnson coming over, and they're going to put a double over there on Porcher. But look at all this room. That is called time. And now you got the old pro here. He's going to run a deep end right. He knows he's got a zone coverage. Good ball by Gus Farrat. He had to fit that ball above the linebackers and before the safety could come down and make a play.
Farrat in the flat to Allen. And he's down to the 23-yard line.
I think North Turner will tell you he's got that itch. You know, even though he's got a running game and a running back like Terry Allen, he wants to throw the football and move that ball up the field.
Patton being tended to on the Washington bench. Meanwhile, Perdonish has moved from right tackle to left tackle. And we brought up a moment ago that Daryl Ashmore, number 73, has now moved into the right tackle position. They've already had a number of changes up front due to the injury to Ed Simmons. Allen blows to another first down and appears to have it at the Detroit 18-yard line. A very impressive opening drive here for the Redskins.
The Lions say that they have to be conscious of gap control, meaning that they got to plug the holes, stop the run, and make number 12 beat them. They're going to rely on the fact that he's been inconsistent, and they don't think that he can beat him down the field.
9th play of the drive, 1st and 10. They spot it at the 17. Again, it's Terry Allen. And he sticks his nose forward and gets inside the 15, down to the 13, tripped up by Waldrop. Joe Patton has just checked back in for the Redskins. A bruise to the right knee, but obviously he's okay.
Talked about that weight differential there. The Redskins offensive line. As this game goes on, you tend to worry if you're a Lion defensive coach that those guys are leaning on my guy. You know, it's like a heavyweight fight. You get that weight and it works against you after a while.
Farad finds Shepard inside the 10, down to the 7, close to another Washington first down. Leslie Shepard, the #1 target among the wide receiving core this season for Gus Farad. It is a first down.
Shepard's going to come in right there. He's the outside guy. Just hook up. That's the advantage of finding the hole in that zone. You got to be aware when you're a receiver, and that's what they talk about receivers reading man and zone coming off the ball. He knew where the soft spot was, and Gus Farad knew where it was too.
1st and goal outside the 5. Allen stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage.
You talk about Norv Turner, and he can get on a roll at times with his play calling, and he's been like that, but at a lot of times Gus Farad has made errors and not hit the open guy, and they've had some mistakes from other people on the team. But I think this is one of these instances where Norv Turner is just reeling them off one after another of good plays.
2 tight ends check in for the Redskins. Asher along with a better blocker, James Jenkins. And they give it to Allen. And he picks up a yard inside the 5, down to the 4, so it'll bring up a very big 3rd and goal.
Down here in the red area, Jamie Asher has been used a lot. They also like the corner of the end zones. They know they're going to work against Detroit, which has been a heavy cover 2 team or zone team down here. Hopefully try to find some open areas.
3rd down and goal. And Farad to throw. In and out of the hands of the tight end, Jamie Asher. It should have been a touchdown.
Asher has come on. This guy is the leading receiver for this team. And they switched up a little bit. They went to man-to-man coverage. And it's going to be tight right off the line. He does a little Q-out, Q-in route, and that's Ron Rice. That ball should have been caught. And then it went right through his hands. That was a good throw by Farad. Now they got to settle for 3.
The 22-yard attempt by Scott Blanton out of the hold of Gus Farad. Redskins looking to jump on the board first. Good snap, good hold, good kick. And the Redskins on their opening drive march down the field. They wanted 7, they settle for 3.
It's the drive to succeed that makes a champion. Pitching in, fighting the battle as a team. Using heart, not just mind and body. Giving whatever it takes. Going the distance for the fan. And loving every minute of it. Southwest Airlines is a proud sponsor of the NFL and the official airline of Super Bowl 32.
A snowflake falls at the far end of history. And that snowflake, we'll call him Steve, winds up as part of a droplet of water. And one day, that droplet, Steve's droplet, could wind up in a brewery where a man you'll never meet discovers the perfect temperature to frost-brew beer. And like that, Steve is in a Coors Light can, and then a tray, and the cup. And now, he's here with you. So I ask you, gentle stranger, do not spill Steve. Coors Light!
I'm looking for a man who's really a man. A man who's at home in the great outdoors. Someone who'll build a dream house in the mountains. And who loves wine and French food.
The all-new Mazda truck. Pure truck.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. By Mazda, come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda. By Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. And by Texaco, a world of energy.
Back at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Railjon, Maryland. I'm so used to saying Washington, D.C. in the old days over at RFK. And a 3-0 Redskins lead. Milburn, 2 yards deep. Brings it out. Great play. And regrets it. Stephen Davis. Ta-dow. Boy, Davis, they think he's going to be a very fine running back in this league down the road.
Not a bad special teams player either.
Got to be versatile, pal. Got to be versatile.
Welcome to the forefront of the economic revolution. This is the headquarters of the Palm Beach People's Party. It's more a gift shop, really. Marks his back, but with the style and the flair of the 90s. This is one of our most popular items. This is our Lotus Domino intranet. Vendors and suppliers are connected, and of course, the workers. We're Marxists, but we got to make a buck like everybody else. You're attacking capitalism with its own tools. Actually, we're reducing cycle time and improving customer service. A lot of comrades spinning in their graves right now.
Of all the personalities who ever captured the spotlight.
What is the story with your hair?
And all the people who ever shocked the world.
You want to make some money? You get yourself a personality transplant.
There is still only one king. Ving Rhames is Don King, only in America.
If you didn't have Don King, you'd have to invent him.
Coming this month on HBO.
Listen up. I have been to the edge and back, and I will tell you what I've learned. What I have learned is you don't need outer crust.
Introducing the Edge Pizza from Pizza Hut, a new pizza with no outer crust, so the toppings go right to the edge.
Mushroom right to the edge. Pepperoni and sausages right to the edge. I have been to the edge and back.
Chili. 16 pieces of pure pulchritudinous toppings. Have you been to the edge?
First came Vince Lombardi. Now, a new legend is born.
Time for one last play, Coach.
Hold on, I'm working it out.
On a brand new Simpsons, tonight on Fox.
Very impressive opening drive for Norv Turner's Redskins, but unlike last week's game against Chicago, when they scored on their first 3 possessions, they had to settle for a field goal from Scott Blanton in an early 3-0 Washington lead. Detroit's second possession begins from its own 10. Barry Sanders avoids 1 tackle, a couple of more, and he's out to the 17-yard line.
Let me tell you something about Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, at the beginning of this season, they were doing a lot of different things with him formation-wise. And I'm not sure this team, even right now, knows what they are. I mean, they got some I formation going. They got some fullback in there, some 3 wide out, some 2 tight end. One thing that Bobby Ross has done, he's learned to be more patient, more consistent at giving that man the ball. And he said last night to us, Tom, that's my fault. I didn't give it to him enough. As you see right there, he's pushing it right on down the field. Pretty nice.
NFL record is 9th straight 1,000-yard rushing season. Great protection And Mitchell fires to Tommy Vardell on the far side of the field for a first down. Well, while we have a moment of McDonald's game break time, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Tom and Ron, Barry Sanders the most exciting back, but Mike Allstott, not bad, punishes William White, bounces outside, 47 yards, good speed. Take a look at his balance here. Pay dirt for Allstott, 7-0 Bucks. Back to Tom and Ron.
Mike Allstott's the real deal.
Better believe it. He's fired up about the resurgence of his alma mater, Purdue, playing great football. Through the hands of Corey Schlesinger, the backup fullback, replacing Vardell.
You look at the Lions on offense and you think, my goodness, they got firepower all over the place. You talk about Herman Moore and Morton on the outsides, and then, of course, you got Barry Sanders. And you look at where they're rated in the NFL coming into this game at number 8. If you're a top 10 team offensively, that's not that bad. But it always happens, you know, number 19 is inconsistent at points, and then they have plays like that every now and then to just kill them.
Delay to Sanders. Beats a couple of tackles and...
See, that's what's amazing about Barry Sanders, and that's why sometimes he gives you a false sense of security of how good your offense is really playing. He's hit 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, breaks 2 tackles, runs out, and ends up making a nice gain out of it. I want you to watch the penetration in here. Bam, that's 1. Count 2 there. There's a 3rd. The first 2 guys, like they say, never tackle Barry Sanders.
4 receiver set on this 3rd and 5. Moore in motion. And Mitchell to throw. Good protection. Tries to jam it in there.
Come up short.
And Milburn made the catch, but he appears to be about a half yard shy. A full yard shy of a first down. And they'll punt it.
Yeah, and what this means is good news for the Redskins and for Rott, because as long as you stay up, even if it's by 3 early here, you can stay pretty much in your run mode, and you don't force him to go to the air too early, which has hurt them.
John Jett puts a leg on it. Mitchell waves for the fair catch at the 17-yard line. So we'll step aside for a moment. Washington here in the opening quarter in front of Detroit, 3-0.
Everywhere. Packages to every address in America. P.O. boxes too. We deliver packages to more places than FedEx or UPS. The U.S. Postal Service can take your business around the world. We deliver packages to everyone, everywhere, every day.
If I leave, I'm gone. I'm not coming back. I'm serious. It's final.
Go ahead.
I'm really going.
Fine.
I mean it.
That door's locked.
Fine. I'm out of here.
Across America, more people use Cellular One than any other cellular service.
Now I get to this bridge, I'm not turning around.
And I mean it.
Nice pants.
Dockers. Khakis.
Supermodels come and go, but tonight...
Run, you look at you go!
A star is born.
Cut!
On a brand new King of the Hill, tonight on Fox.
You like the term old school football fans.
Hey,
those guys are old school.
So how about Sonny Jurgensen coming up here before the game, laying it down? Telling us some good old stuff about the old school.
What a wonderful
when
guy.
Men were men, and they didn't make much money.
First and 10 for the Redskins from their own 17. Terry Allen brings it out across the 20, out to the 21, a gain of close to 4. Like to remind you, this Tuesday, the most explosive die-hard of all comes to Fox with a vengeance. Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson star in the network premiere of Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. Sonny Jurgensen is a die-hard guy. Rod throws on 2nd and 7, wide open for a first down is Henry Ellard.
They're working on that opposite side here. Now, that's Brian Westbrook on the coverage. He's the rookie. He missed all of a training camp, and he's starting to get himself back into football shape and, you know, getting his senses about him. But, you know, he's going to give Ellard that distance, and they're going to try to work on him.
Well, they're going to bring this one back, Ronnie. There was a penalty flag and holding against the Redskins.
Number 75. 10 yards, half the distance to the goal line. Still 2nd down.
That's big Bob Dahl, the right guard. But that's one area of the Lions, the secondary, where some people feel like they can get some plays on them. You know, Corey Raymond hasn't played real well. Talk about Westbrook, the rookie on the other side. It's a good thing they have a guy like a Mark Carrier, even with Van Malone out on the other side.
Redskins backed up to their own 11, and Farad in trouble. Down he goes in the arms of Kerwin Waldron.
Got another flag down. This is against the Skins.
Gus Farad slow to get up. In fact, hasn't yet. Now he does, but he doesn't appear to be healthy.
You know you're hurting when you stop and you bend over in the other team's huddle.
Holding offense, number 67. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
That's Cordonish whistled for the penalty.
Sharp Cordonish over here. Let's check him out. He's working on Porcher. Oh, yeah, he got all that face mask. You see the way Porcher's head turned around? Now, this is a quick lesson in how you put your team in a huge hole.
And we showed you a moment ago the Redskins, the least penalized team in the NFL.
That's the surprising thing about it. Now you're looking at a huge 3rd down.
3rd and 15, and Farad forced from the pocket. Trying to drop it off to Mitchell out of the backfield, nothing doing, and so the Redskins are forced to punt.
You know, the penalties cause all of this, and now you're going to have a punt here to Milburn and probably give Detroit very, very good field position. I mean, this is the break that Detroit's offense needed here early.
Yeah, they had the first down on the throw to Henry Ellard, and then back-to-back penalties against the offensive line. So now Turk will punt it, and Milburn already standing at his own 45-yard line.
And Milburn's a guy who Bobby Ross has said, hey, stop there catching the ball. Be a little bit more aggressive. We need you to make things happen.
Play blown dead, penalty flags along the line of scrimmage. A lot of movement on both sides of the football, or at least the Detroit side, and another penalty. Is this against Washington? Yep, delay of game.
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
There's no reason for that. Well, they can't get people in the game, and Detroit looked like they were going to substitute and try to come with a full rush. Now that they got them backed up, and that would have been smart.
Turk has only had one punt blocked in his entire career, and that was against Arizona in week 3.
And see, what's key here is now Washington has to think about protecting the punter first, and so they're going to be late to get down on the coverage. Now what's happening? Nice kick.
A beauty. Milburn all the way back to his 34. Crosses a 40 to 45. And Milburn down the sideline, shoved out of bounds by the punter, all the way down to the 29. No, they'll call it the 30-yard line.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you back yourself that far up to the goal line, you have to worry about protection first. You're going to be late down the field. I saw one guy down the field to force that catch, and that was Brian Mitchell. There he is right there. That's basically it. I mean, look at all that real estate. That's what you want. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes you think about your incentives in your contract as a punt returner. 59 yards.
Detroit in business. The give is to Sanders. And he is smoked behind the line of scrimmage by Ryan Keel.
Ryan Keel stepping in for Chris Mims. Mims, I think, has been a bit of a disappointment. Ryan Keel got some action in the Baltimore game and last week as well. And what he's done is been able to stop things up inside, which they need.
Give it to Sanders again. Looking for room, and there's none there. Redskins bottling up the holes. Rich Owens out of Lehigh on the stop. It brings up 3rd down and 12. Sanders off to a very slow start, Ronnie. 5 carries, 6 yards.
But it's all about corralling Barry Sanders. You got to take away his direct lanes, his cutback lanes, and that's what they did on that play. Like I said, it's not about man-to-man tackling anymore. It's about surrounding him.
6 defensive backs check in on 3rd and 12. Mitchell throws to Moore, well short of the 1st down. Wrapped up by Jesse Campbell at the 29-yard line. You have to wonder about that call. And Detroit's going to go for it.
And you see Herman Moore, he was very upset. He threw the ball down. Herman Moore wants to be pushed up the field. He don't want to run short crossing routes. And Bobby Ross feeling, hey, we've got this field position. We struggled the first 2 series. We're going to go for it.
4th and 9. The crowd here at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium comes to its feet. Moore went up to get it.
He's short.
And it depends on the spot. Very close. Needed to get to the 21-yard line.
It's hard to say from here.
It is very close, and it certainly depends on the spot. A few inches either way, you get a good look right there. Looking up the line at the 1st down marker, and we'll see.
We talked about the money men for this team, the firepower on the outside. Herman Moore, he's just going to run a little turn route, and he does get beyond the 1st down marker. That's a veteran move. Good job. Good coverage by Darrell Green. It all depends on where that ball was laying when his knee hit and was down. I didn't think he got it, Tom. I tell you, I knew it was close. Wow. Wow, that is a huge, huge play for the Redskins.
The gamble doesn't pay off for Bobby Ross.
To 3/4.
10 millimeter.
My favorite.
The all-new Mazda truck. Pure truck.
Ooh, a computer with the Intel Pentium 2 processor. You know it's fast, and you thought it was priced just out of your reach. Gotcha. Until now. The 1999 PC with the Pentium 2 processor from Gateway. Complete with 32 megs of RAM, 17-inch monitor, AGP graphics, and a whole lot more. Call us at 1-800-GATEWAY, and we'll build one for you.
And so, the prince entered the sleeping castle, breaking the spell as Hansel and Gretel came upon the evil witch's cottage.
And Tinkerbell helped rescue the lost boys from the pirates, and they all...
Now you can buy children a lot of happy endings, because every time you use Visa, we'll contribute to Reading is Fundamental, dedicated to helping children learn to read. So please use your Visa card, because every child deserves a good beginning.
Jack climbed down the beanstalk, narrowly escaped.
It's everywhere you want to be.
How far will Mulder go to save Scully?
Quit the FBI. Come work for me.
The monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Let's look back at the last play. Herman Moore doesn't get the 1st down. Now, he's going to run a nice route. He's actually going to be beyond the marker. Now, there's the marker up there. But the thing is, when he falls wherever your knee is and then where the ball is, that's where it's marked. His knee hit there, look where the ball is. That's where they marked it. Here, not up here, where the first down was.
Well, they went for it on a 4th down and 9, and Moore just a couple of inches shy. A homecoming of sorts for Moore, who played at the University of Virginia, grew up a Redskin fan in Danville, Virginia. Redskins leading 3-0. And a quick throw, overthrown to Leslie Shepard.
The onus is going to be on Detroit's defensive line. They're going to have to rely on their quickness. As we look at Michael Westbrook here, he was in the game on that play. They're trying to match him up on Corey Raymond. They're trying to use his size against Corey Raymond's size. But the defensive front for the Lions, they're going to have to use their quickness and speed to get penetration.
Terry Allen tripped up close to the line of scrimmage by Raymond, who made a nice play right there. It'll bring up another 3rd down and long for the Redskins.
That's why people talk about your corners having to be able to come up and at least be accounted for in the run game. You know, not all corners like to hit. They want to cover first, hit second. But that's a good play by Corey Raymond. And now that puts the Redskins in a 3rd down situation.
Closing in on the end of the opening quarter, Washington a 3-0 lead. Alvin Harper and Henry Eller check in. And Farad, good protection, throws, and through the hands of the intended receiver, Henry Eller.
They got a flag down. Could be a...
looks like another hold, this time against Joe Patton. Illegal use of the hands as he was wrapping up Waldrop.
Yeah, you find the first guy to complain, and that's usually the one that's on.
To the hands to the face, number 68 on the offense, 10-yard penalty. No. 4th down.
That's Joe Patton over there. Now he's working on Kerwin Waldrop. We talked about Waldrop's speed, and he got around the outside. You see the way he held that face mask? That's just what we're talking about. They may not be as big and strong, but they got speed coming around that outside. And in a case like Kerwin Waldrop, he does have the strength.
Turk a little breathing room this time. He punted out of his own end zone the last trip, this time from his own 8. Boy, this guy is some kind of punter.
And the thing about it, he got pretty decent hang time on this one.
Milburn, a 59-yard return his last time. This time it's 8 as he brings it out to the 30 on the final play of the opening quarter. Redskins in front, 3-0. You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
I'm Kenny, a friend of Dick's. Miller Lite has asked me to find 4 cheerleaders to send to the Super Bowl. Here today is Maria from Corpus Christi, Texas, who claims she can perform perfect cheers in any weather. What do you think, America?
Miller Lite.
Could Maria be a cheerleader?
Whoa! Help us out! What is the people you buy and drink Miller Lite?
Rocks. Some people skip them, stack them, or just plain ignore them. But then there's these Texaco people. They love the darn things. Obsess over them. Go to the ends of the earth to find them. They study them. They scan them. Even taste them. Why? You find the right rocks. You find the energy the world needs to keep on running. Texaco, a world of energy.
I could never make decisions, and now I'm in a bind to snack of fries, shakes, or pies. I can't make up my mind. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Mom's calling Enterprise Rent-A-Car because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
Wow!
Drive you to our place and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Back at sold out Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Brand spanking new Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Here in Ralph John, Maryland, a 3-0 Washington lead. Darrell Green did not call his name a great deal today. His 15th year in the league.
It's amazing, boy, and he can still run. He can not run, he can still fly. And I'll tell you one thing about Darrell Green. He knows how to work an official before the game. And Chris Dishman is starting to get a little of that, too. You go talk to the guy and say, hey, I'm going to use this technique, all right? So don't you call holding. This is how I'm playing. When you're playing 15 years in the league, I think they listen to you a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Barry Sanders has been slowed from the beginning of this one. And he is again by Kennard Lang, a pickup of maybe 2. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to James Brown in Hollywood.
Tom and Ron, Chicago will take help any way it comes. Kramer back to pass, looking for Bobby Ingram. Pass interference on Dwayne Washington sets up a 1-yard score. All tied in the second. Back to Tom and Ron.
I don't know where that was pass interference, but in this division here is the team that nobody wants to ever talk about is Minnesota. They always creep up, before you know it, they're in a playoff spot.
Mitchell hit as he threw and overshoots the intended receiver, Johnny Morton. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8. And Bobby Ross told us yesterday this is a very critical game for his team in hopes of heading into the postseason. Playoff football come the end of December, early January. After this one, they go back home for 3 in a row.
Well, yeah, that in those respects, this is a huge game, and they go back home with 3 at home, 2 of them, Indy and Chicago. So, you know, in their hearts, they got to feel those are 2 that they can win, but they got to get this one here.
3rd and 8. Nearly intercepted, but incomplete. Terrific coverage by Dishman. The intended receiver was Moore, and Detroit will punt it away.
And this is a matchup. Dishman said that Moore is very good on the line of scrimmage, so I got to trick him and stay off him and be careful with him. That time, just a quick slant. I'm not so sure that Herman was ready for that ball.
Hike the ball, yeah.
Looked like it came out a little early. Well, you talk about a team that's got maybe 2 of the best corners in the NFL, and guys with a lot of experience and study the game hard and know how to play it out.
Mitchell from a 28. Brings it out to the 37. Flag down on the play. Tackle made by Kowalkowski. Gary Lane, our referee today.
I think it's against Washington.
Brought up earlier, the Redskins, the least penalized team in the NFL this season. Been a lot of flags on the field early on today.
After the kick, holding number 58 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Patrice Alexander got him on the hold.
14:04 to play until halftime. 3-0 Redskins.
Nike Playcore presents.
They told him that, you know, he couldn't quarterback. He was too overweight, and he came to me and said, Mom, I can get my weight down. I know I can do it because it really depends on me eating. And I said, well, you don't have to. You can play the line. He said, well, I want to be quarterback. So he was determined. So he started eating light and started, you know, working out more. And now he's at the weight to be a quarterback.
Come on, you got to push yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to push yourself.
Michael Jordan is CEO Jordan.
It's halftime at the United Center with the Bulls leading 62.
Hatfield.
Get the PE.
Approved.
ASAP.
Proceed. Authorized. Denied. Give me the Nikkei close and the Detroit score. Double mesh? Double mesh. Double mesh. Make the logo bigger.
And the second half is about to begin here at the United Center. Michael Jordan of the Bulls.
MJ, those New Air Jordans?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the coaches of Nike Playcore. By Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. And by Die Hard, America's most trusted battery. Die Hard. What's under your hood?
Tom Brenneman, Ron Pitts, our entire Fox crew. On hand at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium, 3-0 in the second quarter, and the first big carry of the afternoon for Terry Allen, tripped up by Mike Wells.
Yeah, they finally got that going in there. I think Trey Johnson pulled around like he did last week so many times and got a nice ear hole.
Well, since we're in a brand new stadium, our Aflac trivia question: how many other new NFL stadiums are under or approved for construction? Give you a moment or two to think about that. That was not the case on Election Day earlier this week in the city of Pittsburgh, where they voted down a new stadium for the Steelers and the baseball Pirates. On a 2nd and 2, Bowie stuffed at the line of scrimmage shy of the first down.
Larry Pecatello, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, he knows that, okay, I may not be real huge on defense, and I've got a lot of young players, but that just means we're going to use our speed and quickness. You see a lot of guys shooting the gaps, trying to close down those run lanes.
3rd down and 2. They need to get out to the 26-yard line. Alvin Harper in motion. They're coming after Farad. And the throw batted down.
Bailey.
Terrific coverage
Great
by
play.
Robert Bailey.
They call him Beetle Bailey. He sits down inside in the slot. A nice job working. And that's tough inside that slot. There he is right there. He's got that Deion Sanders stance. It's tough in the slot because the receiver has a two-way go on you even after you jam it. You get a good jam, you can go inside or outside. You've got plenty of time to do it. That's textbook. Now, you see the Redskins offense starting to sputter a little bit now.
Well, they had a terrific opening drive.
Had a nice open, but they haven't done anything since.
Nearly blocked.
And this guy here, Turk, is their biggest asset, hunting that ball out of trouble.
Fair catch at the 35-yard line by Milburn, and that was nearly blocked by number 99, backup linebacker Richard Jordan. Still 3-0, Redskins.
Listen, when I look at this car, it's the same way as if I'm looking at myself. You have to physically touch things. You have to use your visual senses. You smell. This is our AC sniffer. Listen. Tings and dings and clicks and clacks. A buzz, a hum, a clink, a tick, an annoying anything that people normally wouldn't hear, I have to hear. It's not easy being me. I would say I'm the most critical person in the plant.
You're all set. Have a pleasant flight.
Great.
Here you are, sir. A 2-door spec.
Spec? Our junior executive suite.
Supersize me.
Sure, what would you like?
I don't care. Just supersize me.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Over time, a car can become a real magnet for replacement parts. And not just filters, batteries, and spark plugs. That's why AC Delco has over 65,000 parts, with everything from alternators to evaporators. AC Delco has quality parts for just about every make of car or truck. Oh yeah, we also make remanufactured engines. AC Delco. It's like buying time.
Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, Jeremy Irons in the network premiere.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
That's Scott Turner right there, the guy circling. Now, he's the flyer. He's the guy on the outside of the punt coverage team who's going to try to run down, and I say try, and make a play on the punt return man. You know, it's like that cat and mouse. After a while, the mouse just rolls over and gives up.
You got it. First down, and a give us to Barry Sanders, and he has not had much success in the first quarter plus.
You know, they talk about how bad the Redskins are up front at stopping the run, and you look at their numbers and they reflect that, but when you really sit down and study them on film, that's not the case. I think it has a lot to do with how much time they're on the field, and they got some young guys out here. We're looking at Kennard Lang over here. He's a rookie. And then inside, they got Keel coming down. He's a second-year guy. Their whole thing is to plug gaps and surround Barry Sanders and get people on the cutback line.
Play fake to Sanders this time. Mitchell rolls left and just throws it away. Everyone was covered. Terrific coverage downfield by Darrell Green on Johnny Morton. That's where Mitchell was looking.
Yeah, and Mims that time actually forces the throw as we look at Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator for the Redskins. And you'll notice one thing that Scott Mitchell said he was more comfortable with was rolling out to his left. He made a couple nice plays doing that in the last couple weeks, but whenever you got a guy in your face hot, you're not going to have success.
Mitchell was hit on 4 of 10 for 31 yards. Looking for their first third down conversion. Good protection this time, and Mitchell's throw, no, in and out of the hands of a diving Johnny Morton.
Stanley Richard, you know what? Stanley Richard's game has stepped up. Last couple years, he's been very much maligned here, criticized. A lot of people say it wasn't worth the money, but you know what? Now that he's got 2 stud corners, he can play looser. He can play the ball now. And Mike Nolan knows that, and he's given him a little bit more freedom to run around than he had the last few years here, and it's made a big difference.
John Jett, high spiraling kick. Mitchell waits from his 16.
That's got to be a clip.
Yep, penalty flag comes in, and that should be a call against Ron Rivers.
I just can't understand. You know, special teams coaches pull their hair out over this one. From the time they come in minicamp, look at Pete Rodriguez there. The time they come in minicamp and through training camp, they say if you can read a guy's name and numbers, don't hit him in the back.
Again, waiting on Gary Lane, our referee.
Chuck Pfeiffer, excuse me, special
During the
teams
return, holding number 48. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Stephen Davis.
Steven. Come on, they're coming down. Right in there. Damn.
To show people the amazing things it can do for today's software. As you can see, they really got a kick out of it.
Tonight, Scully's deepest secret revealed.
What happened there? She's dying.
On the monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Time to answer our Aflac trivia question. How many new NFL stadiums are under or approved for construction? The answer is 8. And you see Detroit, anywhere from 2001 to 2005, they're looking for a brand new stadium, and we'll get one in downtown of the Motor City. Farad looking for the long ball. Shepard is open and slightly overthrown. Those are the kind of mistakes that Gus Farad has made.
That's the touch difference, I think, with Gus Farad. I mean, a receiver is not going to be any more open in the National Football League. Over here, he's working. That's Shepard. He's working on the rookie Westbrook. They get him on the stutter and go. Perfectly done. You can't ask for anything more. That ball has got to be put on the money. Gus has to see that and put some air under it and let the receiver just run under it. They talk about the touch. And Farrad's touch right now, he's 3 for 11 for 32 yards, 0 for the last 6 attempts.
Well, that should have been 6. Play blown dead before it ever got started. Jumping across the line of scrimmage, Robert Forche. Was he drawn off?
Encroachment, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
To the 2nd and 10. It'll be now 2nd and 5 for the Redskins.
Forche leading the team in sacks. He represents, along with Waldrop, those speed guys on the outside. As we talked about in the open, Tom, this is classic of what's been going on. Up and down, and now they're in that down mode. And unfortunately, the team's going the same mode that the quarterback is.
Terry Allen close to a first down. He'll be a yard shy, wrapped up and tackled by Stephen Boyd. It'll bring up third down and less than a yard.
And here's where coaching comes into play. You got to realize when your quarterbacks aren't on, then you got to take the ball out of their hand and put it in the hands of your running backs. Now, you got a guy, Terry Allen. He can be very productive.
Redskins going with a jumbo front line. Two tight ends, Asher and Jenkins, also checking in. Backup tackle Daryl Ashmore on this 3rd and 1. Allen, the second man through, and doesn't appear to have enough for the first down.
That's going to be awful close. I don't even know if it's going to be close.
No, he didn't get
got jacked right inside there.
Porche and Carrier coming up from his free safety spot, and the Redskins will punt.
Redskins are in a serious stutter mode. Watch the play down inside. Shane Bonham, 96. He's playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage. That makes the difference right there. And a nice fill by a rookie, Matt Russell. But Bonham's penetration enabled the rookie to come inside and get an open shot on your running back. That's called playing on the other guy's line of scrimmage.
Already the 4th punt for Matt Turk.
Look at that hang time.
Milburn, a fair catch at the 38-yard line. A 42-yard boot by Turk, who most certainly will be headed for the Pro Bowl at season's end. Coming up next week, a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It starts with America's most watched pregame show. Then a key NFC Central matchup, the Vikings and the Lions, followed by the Redskins. They'll clash with their rivals, the Dallas Cowboys, plus other exciting regional action. Coverage begins noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. And speaking of the Redskins, they're 0-13 in the week before.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
After the Dallas game.
And I asked Norv the other day, I said, Norv, you know, were you thinking all about this? He said, no, we're okay. We're not thinking about that. I don't know. Well, the flea flicker, and he doesn't have anything.
Mitchell
he does.
Has Morton, as he's tackled all the way down at the Washington 40-yard line.
Morton came open late across the field, a nice drag route. And Mitchell had time to throw the football. You know that anytime you hand the ball to Barry Sanders, it's going to create a sense of urgency for the defense. So he's got time to wait for Morton to clear. He wasn't open at first. But that's a nice call there by Sylvester Groom, the offensive coordinator for Detroit. Very timely.
Gain of 22 this time. Sanders will hang on to it himself, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Barry Sanders, no room to run the entire afternoon thus far. Greg Jones on the tackle.
Tell you what I'm talking about. This is how you got to play against Barry Sanders. You got to cut back every lane of escape that he has. Now, he's going to take off to this side of the field, but I want you to watch the pursuit by the white shirts. And we're going to stop it in a minute here. Stop it right there. They got a guy for this lane. They got a guy for the outside. They got penetration inside. There's no place for Barry Sanders to go. That's how you got to play it.
8 carries, 13 yards thus far for Sanders.
The bootleg.
And Mitchell running for his life. Throws it away.
I think Scott Mitchell's learning his lesson, or trying to learn his lesson on the bootleg. If he doesn't have anything open, throw that bad boy away. Don't pull a Green Bay on the team like you did last week. Watch the penetration. Watch the rush here. Big Owens, Rich Owens coming up the field. But this is the thing that does it right here. Dishman working man-to-man. That's why you got 2 good corners. That's why you pay the money and bring them in. It lets you freelance everywhere else.
3rd and 9. Mitchell, good protection. Not even close, and again, blanketing Herman Moore was Dishman.
Chris Dishman told us the other day, he said, I'm going to mess with Herman Moore's mind, and I'm going to do something that's going to throw him off balance. And it's just good man-to-man coverage, and Bobby is not happy about it. There it is right up there. That's green that time, and that's a size mismatch there. And I think that Mitchell's trying to get that ball high, knowing that.
You're right. Darryl Green that time on the coverage of Moore. We expected and were told that Dishman would, by and large, keep an eye on Moore throughout the afternoon. Yet trying to to bury this one inside the 10, and he'll do it. Actually, it takes a Washington bounce and comes out to the 12-yard line. Down right there. Redskins on their first drive kicked a field goal. Not a since.
Teammates sponsored by the U.S. Army. Be part of our team in the Army. Norv Turner's Washington Redskins have been paced by quarterback Gus Frerotte and wide receiver Michael Westbrook.
So Westbrook leaping, touchdown, Washington Redskins.
The fast-rising Redskins, a force to be reckoned with in the NFC's Eastern Division.
Stop line. Keep it going, huh?
It's freezing, it's quiet, but you get used to it. You grow to love it.
Snowfox 2-1, this is Snowfox base.
This is Snowfox 2-1. Then a storm comes up, and I'm the one who's got to get us out of here. And I remember who gave me courage. This is for them. For my mom and dad, who never missed a game. For Drill Sergeant McCardle, who showed me what it takes to be a leader.
Visual contact, Sergeant.
And for myself, who became one.
Every once in a blue moon, something new comes along that scrambles your preconceptions and turns out to be a whole new omelet. Like whoever thought you could say luxury car and fun in the same sentence? Well, we did. In fact, we said it in one word. Catera. A proud new addition to our luxury family. It's the caddy that zigs.
All right, Artie, you going out for this one? Oh, let's go. Let's do it. Blue! Hut! Hut! I'm open!
Redskin defense has stood tall thus far. 3-0, Washington in front. Redskins begin this drive from their own 12. Both quarterbacks have really struggled here today. Mitchell for the Lions, Frerotte for the Redskins. And Allen taken down immediately by Robert Porcher. He lost a couple of yards. Well, the Lions are trying to end what has been a horrible stretch. Their last time they beat the Redskins, 1965. Few highlights from that year, Ron. His all-time favorite song, Hang On Sloopy. Used to watch Bonanza, I'm sure. How old were you then?
Still watch Bonanza.
Yeah, I know you do.
Watch the remakes. I was about 3 years old.
Sonny Jurgensen in that game in 1965 was actually pulled out of a game at halftime after throwing 4 interceptions. I asked him before the game, he said he didn't remember any of them. Michael Westbrook, his
He can
first
still run.
interception.
I don't think anybody touched him down.
You're right, and he's out to the 42. Westbrook returning today after missing the last 3 games with a knee injury.
I tell you, Westbrook has been a guy who is starting to come under some criticism, but one thing about him, when he's in the game, he changes the level of play. And now they like that matchup over there on Corey Raymond. They were trying to get that all day long here. They like the size differential. Raymond has been hurt. There's nothing that makes an offensive coordinator salivate more than to see a hurt corner.
Looking for Westbrook again, and it's overthrown this time by Frerotte. He was wide open and could have been headed for the end zone. Well, Westbrook, of course, everyone knows, went after his teammate Stephen Davis early in the season. It's been another injury-plagued season for the #1 pick in '95 out of Colorado. All the tools in the world, but when will he put it all together?
Yeah, you know, you can only say injury for so long. I think after a while, whether it's getting in the weight room or being more flexible, you got to get yourself in a position where you can be healthy.
Quick slant, incomplete. Brown wanted pass interference and didn't get it. Westbrook on the coverage.
Yeah, that's Westbrook now. Westbrook has said, hey, I'm tired of playing off. I'm going to come up and bump and run and challenge more, and that's what he's done the last couple weeks. That's close.
Oh.
You make contact inside with both hands. That's close. It is so judgment. If the cornerback is looking at the quarterback, he's looking at the ball, then in most officials' eyes, they're going to say, hey, he is making an attempt to play the ball, so they're going to let that stuff slide.
Frerotte on a 3rd and 10. Blitz coming. Had an eye on Westbrook, but threw his hands incomplete. And again, Washington will punt. Pressure applied by Robert Bailey, blitzing from his corner position.
It's going to be on the right side here. That'll be the cornerback, Bailey. Now, he didn't rush to throw. That throw was just a little bit too outside. Westbrook is beyond the first down marker. He's just got to put it in his numbers. You know, those kind of miscues add up. And thank goodness they got a guy like this right here.
What a punt. Down to the 5-yard line. We brought up Turk.
And look how, look at Turk. Turk is a big man. He's 6'5", 234. He can get a lot of weight into that ball.
Well, 3 times at Chicago last week, he pinned the Bears inside the 20, including once down at the 1-yard line. And Norv Turner told us yesterday, this guy has to go to the Pro Bowl.
And supposedly he has a thigh injury. Oh, well.
Well, Pete Rodriguez, the special teams coach.
And they got to change at QB there, Frank Reich.
So Reich takes over for the swaddling Scott Mitchell. And gives to Barry Sanders his best carry of the afternoon.
Yeah, you want to help your quarterback out. You pump it to number 20. That's the best way I know to get my quarterback going. But that's a quick hook there on number 19.
So Mitchell, who threw 4 interceptions in the loss to Green Bay last week, now stands on the sidelines and watches as longtime backup Frank Reich comes in. Barry Sanders has just become the 3rd leading rusher all time in the NFL, passing Tony Dorsett. Peyton and Dickerson still to come, and he'll catch them both. Look at this run.
I don't know if...
Crossing the 25 all the way out to the 27. You brought it up earlier, Ronnie. You think there's nothing there, and all of a sudden it's an 8, 9, 10, 12-yard gain, if not more.
And the amazing thing about Barry Sanders now is that it looks to me as though he's gotten faster. I looked at those 2 runs he had down in Tampa Bay. You wonder how a guy that, at this age and going this long and got that many yards can continue to get better and better and better and better. But that's what the great ones do. Walter Payton did it. Every year it seemed as though he got better.
White checks off at the line of scrimmage. And he throws, looking up top, and that should be interference. Are they going to call it? No, they're not. They're tangled up for the ball, and they're saying what? They're saying incomplete. Darrell Green step for step with Johnny Morton.
You got to love this one here, folks. This is the speed-on-speed matchup. Darrell Green says, hey, I may make mistakes at the line. It doesn't matter because I know that I can go run a guy down. But now, watch closer. Woo! I don't know how many guys would get away with that.
And I'm not sure he didn't catch his ball.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he caught the ball. But in the officials say you can't rule that as possession.
White playing for the first time all season is kicked off by Jesse Campbell. Tipped at the line of scrimmage by Keel.
That ball looked like it might have been tipped at the line of scrimmage there. Yeah, you can see the way it wobbled out. Jesse Campbell now getting a big play, and that turns out to be now a huge series for the Redskins.
Keel grew up right here in Maryland.
Yeah, we saw Keel in that Baltimore game. I liked it. I thought he did a good job of stuffing things up there. You see Jesse Campbell talking to defensive back coach Tom Hayes.
This is Terry Allen. Cuts it back to the inside and gains close to 5.
You don't want to say it too soon, but that move there, maybe pulling Mitchell out a little bit early, that backfires here.
But Ronnie, not to second guess by any means Bobby Ross, but he saw what happened last week with Mitchell and earlier today. We understand that he does have a slight leg muscle strain right now.
That makes sense.
He may be back. But nonetheless, the offense was doing nothing, and now Farrat looking for 6. Interference in the end zone called against Raymond.
They bring Westbrook over on the post route. I thought Farrat did a nice job of just laying that ball up and letting Westbrook run under it.
That's interference.
Yeah, you can see right there, Raymond has got him on the inside. I mean, he had him tackled before the ball was even there. Look at the error, and that gives Westbrook a chance to go get it. And I think Raymond panicked a little early there. He was in good position. I don't know why he felt he had to grab Michael Westbrook. He was not beat by any means on the play.
Automatic first down, 1st and goal at the 1. Play fake to Allen. Farrat rolling, looking into the end zone. Touchdown, Jenkins. Talk about hitting the lottery. Jenkins has 3 catches all year, and all 3 are for touchdowns.
Boy, look at the streamers out in the field here. They're going to have to... You know, they needed a big play. They got the turnover, and now they come with a nice play action at the right time. There's Jenkins there. He's open the whole time. Good patience by Farrat of waiting for him to get even more open. But I think it goes back. You know, you have the substitution in there, whether it's an injury to Mitchell or not, and a batted pass, an interception. That was the one thing that needed to happen to turn things over for the Redskins. And it could have happened vice versa for the Lions, but that was the one play that changes the role of this game.
Point after is good by Blanton. So Gus Farrat connects on his 15th touchdown pass of the season, 10-0 Washington.
You're born, you go to school, and then one day, things begin to get interesting. Now, instead of preparing, you're doing. The stakes are a lot higher than they were in high school. Because out here, the tests you're given are of your honor, your courage, and your commitment. This is your journey. It's time you got underway. Call 1-800-USA-NAVY. Let the journey begin.
Toasters are guaranteed for about a year. Refrigerators, about 5. A Moen faucet, however, is guaranteed for life. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call. And this is the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
So a key turnover, a pass interference call, and a touchdown throw for Farrat to James Jenkins. Gives the Redskins a 10-0 lead. We mentioned Farrat now 15 touchdown passes on the year. That is the most by a Redskin quarterback since Mark Rippon's 28 in '91, and that's when the Redskins won their last Super Bowl. Very short kick. Milburn across the 30, and good field position as he brings it out to the 36-yard line.
Here's all this stuff started. This is the interception. Now that's Keel. He gets the tip right there, and that's the interception by Jesse Campbell. Now the interference penalty. And once again, I thought that Raymond was in good position. I'm not sure why he panicked and felt like he had to grab Michael Westbrook, and this is good patience by Farrat, and a nice play call, too.
And a man who made the pick, Jesse Campbell, yes, indeed.
He picked that off with that thumb. He's got that little soft cast on that left thumb. That's not easy to do. Whoa!
Barry Sanders breaks a couple of tackles. Penalty flags litter the field as Sanders carries out to the 41-yard line. This may come back. Chris Zorich tripped him up. Zorich, they signed just a few days after being waived by the Bears. And there you see Mitchell, the right thigh area wrapped up.
Yeah, Tom, I thought it was a little bit premature to take him out on performance this early, and you can see there he's not feeling good.
offense, number 53. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
He looks like he wants back in the game.
You have to believe that it's fairly serious for him because, you know, we know the importance of this game. We talk about November, you know, they're 4 and 5. You know, they got 3 home ones coming up. I mean, this is a huge game. If there's any way he can play, he would be in there, I think. And I'm not going to question whether or not he's seriously hurt, but if there's any way, he could be in there.
After the penalty, Sanders carries out to the 31-yard line. By and large, Sanders has been a non-factor in the game through the first half.
Yeah, and that's due in part, like we say, you know, the talk about the Redskins being bad on defense in terms of stopping the run. The numbers may show it, but they've had a lot of things go on down there. They had some injuries, and they've got some young people, but they're playing better today, and that shows. They're going against the #1 guy, but you know how Barry is. Barry will stutter, hit some short ones, and then explode on you for that long one. They got to try to avoid that.
2nd and 14, and unable to hang on was Herman Moore.
Dishman working the official now. This time, Dishman playing a soft bump, as they call it. He's going to jam him late. He said he didn't want to really fight with Herman Moore because he was so tall. And that time, Herman got the best of him. Got separation is what they look for. And when you got Frank Reich in the game, he's not going to have that real strong arm, and he's not a guy you worry about blazing you down the field on deep bombs. But he is going to run the offense.
Reich, of course, played collegiately at the University of Maryland. Deep drop and throws across the middle, incomplete. Man-on-man coverage. Tommy Boyd, the intended receiver, and step for step right with him.
And look at the reception Dishman gets from the fans here. This is a mismatch. Boyd doesn't have enough to take Chris Dishman across the field. And see, Dishman's looking at the quarterback the whole. He knows when that bad boy comes off, and it comes out and he's on it. And Mitchell's got plenty of room.
Crosses the 20 to 25 and more. Mitchell down the sideline, still on his feet, all the way to the 42. The electrifying Brian Mitchell. Unquestionably the best return man in the NFL.
That's the case, I think, where they outkicked the coverage a little bit. Not quite enough hang time on the ball, but it wasn't bad, but the punt was just so long. One thing Norv Turner told us the other day is that I know I got 2 things. I got a punter and a punt returner or kick returner. And he's right about it. When you got those guys, number 1, you can always get out of trouble. And number 2, when you're in trouble, you can always get back into good field position. And that's exactly what we've seen today. Turk has taken him out of trouble. Mitchell has put him on the other side of the 50.
46-yard return by Brian Mitchell, and Farad looking for 6 more. Step for step this time with Bryant Westbrook.
Michael Westbrook thought in practice, he said, hey, I can beat up on this guy. Give me the rookie, I can handle it. And that's pretty darn good coverage by Bryant Westbrook, who is limping. He's going off the field now. I tell you, I like some things that guy right there is doing. He went from being a little bit timid, missing all the camp, you know, going up against a stud receiver every week. He's honkered it down and played tight football. You saw it on that play.
Terry Allen breaks the tackle and then caught from behind by the veteran George Jamison. It'll bring up 3rd down for Washington. The clock continues to roll down to 2:35 remaining in the half.
It's funny, you talk to the coaches around the league and you ask them, well, where are you dominant? Where do you think you can dominate on the field? And they say, I'm not sure. You know, the way things are nowadays with free agency, Bobby Ross told us last night, I don't know if anybody can dominate a particular phase of the game like they used to.
3rd down and 7, short drop, and a strike to Westbrook. He has a first down to the 22-yard line. This will take us to the 2-minute warning. So Michael Westbrook returns in fine fashion here today.
That's tough when you got a big body out on a small body. He was working on Robert Bailey run the quick slant. That's a big target to look at. It's hard to miss him.
Every once in a blue moon, something new comes along that scrambles your preconceptions and turns out to be a whole new omelet. Like whoever thought you could say luxury car and fun in the same sentence? Well, we did. In fact, we said it in one word. Catera. A proud new addition to our luxury family. It's the caddy that zigs.
Stampede tomorrow night, 2 a.m.
Now you can save $100 on professional installation. So what are you waiting for?
If you feel the need for speed,
This guy is flying.
think again.
There he goes.
The world's scariest police chases 3, Thursday at 9/8 Central.
Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, JB and Terry will bring you scores and highlights from around the NFL, plus a Fox Sports ticker will bring you up on the stats around football. That's all coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report. Washington at the Detroit 23-yard line. 2 minutes remain until half, and the Redskins already a 10-0 lead. The delay to Allen didn't fool anybody. He picks up a couple of yards. And again, the Redskins, all 3 timeouts remaining. And what a big score this would be for Norv Turner's team.
Well, you can see the momentum of this game change for Washington after that interception. I mean, that was the key right there. Everything just went a whole nother direction. And then it goes back to the field position. Now, all of a sudden, Washington's run defense isn't so bad when the offense is on the field more and the defense has their offense backed up.
We're right on a 2nd and 9. Throws for the end zone and overthrows Alvin Harper.
That's going to be a tough fit right there. That's a real tight touch pass that Farrat was going to have to make the getting intercepted. And that guy right there, Alvin Harper, still looking for a place, looking for a home more or less, and said the reason he came here was because of Norv Turner. And Norv, of course, in Dallas with him.
Harper oft injured after signing as a free agent, leaving Dallas to go to Tampa Bay. 3rd down and 9. You see what the Redskins have done on 3rd down today.
And what Farrat has to be aware of here is that he's in a position to get field goal points if nothing else.
Quick slant to Westbrook. In and out of his hands. Good play defensively that time by Corey Raymond.
Watch up top here. Pretty decent jam by Raymond, but he's able to close down that separation and make the play. They thought they were going to heat up Raymond out here today, and he's held his own pretty darn good.
Had to leave the game in the 4th quarter, did Raymond last week.
And he's hurt, yeah, like we said, and he's hurt.
Well, they're going to spot this just outside the 30-yard line, making it a 40-yard attempt for Blanton. It will move off to the right.
And Blanton, and I told you, Tom, in pregame warm-up, Scott Blanton missed a lot of field goals. He did not look right. I don't know what the problem is, but he just looked like he couldn't get any punch on the ball. Pete Rodriguez, a special teams coach, he's trying to give a little body lean, little English to the left, and get that bad boy in there. Nobody's draw is that good. That's a huge miss. It's a huge miss because it keeps hope in the Detroit Lions' minds. You know, if you're looking at it from a Redskins point of view. I mean, you had a chance to go down here, not necessarily get to 7, but just put another 3 up, make it 13-zip. And now they've got the timeouts here.
We'll see with the backup Frank Reich, who is playing for the first time this season in the game today, whether they'll elect to put it up. 3 receivers have checked in. And Reich back to throw. Good protection, and that is incomplete. Looking for a flag, and not getting it was a tight end, David Sloan.
Boy, Bobby Ross is hot.
He should have been
smoking.
Not a good start for Reich.
Well, you know, it's tough coming in as a backup, but I'm still trying to figure out those purple shirts, purple jackets they got on.
Yeah, they look.
I don't know if it matches the lion blue. They look more purple.
They are purple.
They got them mixed up with somebody.
Tried a quick hitter again to Herman Moore, incomplete. So now Reich is 0 for 6 since taking over for the starter Scott Mitchell.
And see, the next thing you got to defense against if you're Detroit, the confidence of the team. You know, Mitchell goes out, and you see Reich start to struggle here. What happens to everybody's confidence? Barry hasn't had that long run yet. Now they got a 3rd down. You got to move the chains.
Reich on a 3rd and 10. Good protection. Throws across the middle, and Morton has it at the 42-yard line. Clock continues to roll, and now the Lions will spend their first time out of the half. They have 2 remaining, and the ball at the Washington 42-yard line.
That's a huge play. Johnny Morton, another one of those Lion big play guys. Now, if you're going to see this much distance, you're right. Run the inside play. The safety's not a factor. There's Richard. He's squatting because they know they got the corners, and those corners are used to playing man-to-man. They took a gamble on that one, that Reich wouldn't try to hit him in the middle of the field, and he did. That was one of the things they talked about attacking Washington. Look for the inside of the field. You know they're going to go man-to-man on their corners and cheat up with the safeties and try to make plays. The middle of the field should be open.
Well, there you see the story. 54 ticks remaining
Look at
until
Norris.
halftime, and the Redskins missed a moment ago on a chance to add to a 10-0 lead. Detroit has decided to try and get down the field and make anything happen.
And that's the thing about Reich. Reich is going to see the open receivers most of the time and make the right throws.
Again, good protection. Throws to the far side. Again, the catch.
They got to get on the ball.
Down to the 37. Morton's on the reception. Clock now running at 40.
He doesn't want to burn one here. Boy, they're taking a long time to set this up.
Harvey chasing, and Reich throws it away. Clock stops with 30 seconds left.
That's a nice rush by Ken Harvey, 57. Here's a guy here, been dinged up. Now, they use him at that down lineman position. Remember, a couple years ago, they used to rush him on 3rd down. And nobody even picks him up. I thought Reich did a good job just to get rid of that one.
Well, Jason Hansen, the Detroit field goal kicker, has a terrific leg to give him a reasonable shot. They probably need to get 3, 4, maybe 5 yards. 3rd down and 4, the delay. And Sanders trying to get to the first down marker will not get there. He's stumped at the 35, so this should bring on about a 52-yard field goal attempt if they elect to do so by Hansen.
Another fine job, Mike Nolan's crew surrounding Barry Sanders. You have to cut off every lane, and the trick is not to go ahead and try to make that big hit tackle. But you got a guy going from the outside, that's Pounds. You got 2 guys in pursuit here. You got a guy coming here, and here comes Richard coming down the alley. That is how you play against Barry Sanders. And then you got another guy outside.
Well, now the debate on the sideline. Bobby Ross is elected on 4th down and 3 to go for it rather than try a very long field goal that would be about 51, 52 yards. Second time he's made this decision today. And he has a really good kicker who's made 17 in a row.
I go on how the guy kicked in pregame warmup, and his range, Hansen's range was very good. He's hitting the top of the net from 45 plus. That's a tight call.
He's hit a 53-yarder this year. His longest is 56 in his career, but nothing doing. They're going on 4th down, and they will not convert. Darryl Pounds able to bat it away.
That's great awareness by Darryl Pounds. He's actually running in another direction. Now Pounds will be in here. Watch, he's got coverage going somewhere else, and he turns and makes a play on the football. I mean, that's a Pro Bowl type play right there. It was good coverage by Darrell Green, but to have that awareness. Now, when he gets in the meeting Monday, the coach is going to cuss him out. He said, weren't you looking at your man? You shouldn't have seen the ball come out.
Now, Pounds got a game ball last week against Chicago. He had 3 tackles, a sack, recovered a muffed punt return attempt by the Bears. So he's getting it done defensively and on special teams. And meanwhile, Hansen left to wonder why for the 2nd time. Now, the Redskins, maybe they're not through.
I don't think they are.
Ryan Mitchell out close to midfield, and the clock is stopped on the Washington timeout with 13 seconds left. First timeout spent and a half by the Redskins.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting pretty here. You got 13 seconds, unfortunately, for them, but you got the 2 timeouts.
Well, Blanton
he hadn't been looking too well today.
Well, you mentioned that. He hasn't kicked well today. His longest, bear in mind, this season is the 41-yard line, so they need to get roughly for a 40-yard attempt down to the 23-24-yard line, so they're looking at about almost 30 yards to pick up in the final 13 seconds. You see his career long.
Yeah, I think you got to get Blanton. I think you got to get Blanton inside the 30 here. Okay, here's a 30 right there. You got to get him inside there. Like I said, you got 2 timeouts. You can stop it.
Barat steps up across the middle again to Mitchell. He's to the 40. And again, they will spend another timeout. 7 seconds remaining until halftime. And the Redskins 1 timeout left. So they could hit another quick play, get it down to the 35, 33, and give it a long
That's
drive.
the thing. Now, if we talk about getting Blanton inside the 30, that play has to develop awful quick, and it's going to take some time. And this is where you post the guy up. So if you do get that completion, you post the guy up next to the official that's ready to do nothing but call the timeout. And he designates that guy as the timeout caller.
Well, there are a number of options here the Redskins have, either to try and set up for a field goal, call a quick timeout. Maybe you just throw one up, look for an interference call or a Hail Mary in the end zone.
I think your shot is better at getting that play in the middle, stopping the clock and trying to get the field goal line.
And again, Blanton's career long at 53. They'd have to get to the 35.
But it's got to happen quick. Around 4 seconds outside.
And did he get out in time? Yes, he did on the completion to Mitchell with 3 seconds left.
But now let's see. He's going to be outside. That's going to be 40 plus there on the field goal.
Well, they mark it at the 32-yard line, so roughly it'll be put down at the 39. This will be a 49-yard field goal.
I was going to say, you know, they went with the short, conservative play out of bounds quick. They didn't feel they had enough time inside, but now you left your guy a lot of distance.
53 yards, the longest in the career of Blanton. Does he have enough?
Looks like he got it.
Did he get it?
He got it.
Boy, the Redskins worked the final minute in magical fashion, and Blanton cashes in. They call it exactly a 50-yard field goal, his longest of the year. You don't think Norv likes this, do you?
Look at that face. That way to twist that face in, Norv.
Just like I drew it up.
Hey, once again, Norv Turner makes a great series of calls going down the field. They use the clock perfect.
13-0 Washington. JB and Terry will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime report after these messages from your local station.
Fox Tuesday to Tuesday mega movie nights begin this Tuesday.
There's a bomb in a school.
With Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson in the network premiere of the $300 million blockbuster.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Then Tuesday, November 18th, two legendary captains join forces.
Warp 1, engage!
In the network's premiere of the biggest Star Trek movie of all, Star Trek Generations. For the next 2 Tuesdays, get 2 of Hollywood's hottest films. So many thrills, just one box.
You like the way you feel when you get what you need to do what you do well.
To keep its value, your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln just needs a little attention now and then. An oil change, brake job, a system check. Quality care from the people who know it best. They're waiting for you at the place it all started.
At your service, quality care.
Quality care service from Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers.
I am the driver human. I have needs. At times, I have the driver human instinct to feel safe and secure. At other times, I have the human instinct to fly.
Introducing the Exxon Driver Card, exclusively designed for driver humans and their passengers.
You wanted a choice? You've got it. Every day at McDonald's, where for a limited time, America's favorite sandwich, the Big Mac, is just 99 cents. And an order of crispy 6-piece chicken McNuggets is 99 cents. Or for breakfast, a delicious 99-cent sausage egg biscuit. Want something extra? Try a Big Mac or 6-piece chicken McNugget extra value meal, each with large fries and a medium Coke, only $2.99. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got what you want when you want it. Choice after choice after choice after choice. Only at McDonald's.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
There are 1,280 miles of shoreline in Virginia, 15 million acres of woodland, 43,000 farms, 2.5 million homes, 6.5 million people, 5 million cars and trucks, and 570 auto dealers. Last year, more people bought more new cars and trucks from Beach Ford than from any of those other 570 dealers in Virginia. Beach Ford. Come see why.
World class.
Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox 33.
Redskins a 13-0 lead at halftime over Detroit. The Dockers Khakis halftime report coming up with JV, Terry Howie, and my man Ronnie Lott. It's up next. You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Vince Lombardi, George Hallis, and now
Time for one last play, Coach.
Hold on, I'm working it out.
a new legend is born.
Let's try out the new cup.
Feel the power
We drove 2,000 miles for this.
of a new Simpsons tonight at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Being a supermodel has its perks.
They let me keep the underwear. I'm still wearing it, Dad.
A star is born and a brand new King of the Hill tonight.
I'm Herman Moore, wide receiver for the NFL's Detroit Lions, with some of our young NFL fans who belong to the Boys and Girls Club. They're learning a lot about competition, commitment, and teamwork, but they also gain self-esteem, job skills, and the dignity to be productive members of our society. Through the United Way-funded agencies like this, they are also being introduced to computer science. They get counseling with these activities and other programs at the Boys and Girls Club. But the United Way is investing in the Boys and Girls Club for a lot more than all these programs. The education and guidance they receive here helps to teach these young people not to use drugs or abuse alcohol or to get into gangs. And all of you can be part of the NFL United Way team if you join me and my teammates in supporting your local United Way.
The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
Olympic hopefuls from around the world gather to compete in the Prime Star Skate International of Germany. See world champion Elvis Stoico, European champion Irina Slutskaya, and world champions Weitzel and Stoyer as they compete against skating's elite in this prestigious international event. The Prime Star Skate International Champion Series, spotlighting the world's best skaters. Coverage begins later today, here on Fox. Check local listings. Dockers Halftime, brought to you by Dockers Khakis, the next best thing to a 2-point conversion. Hey, nice, fans.
Back here in Hollywood with Ronnie, Howie, Terry, and yours truly, JB. Let's take you around the NFL. Redskins have limited Barry Sanders to 43 yards in the first half. That's not bad. 13-0 lead.
You're talking fast. This guy can run fast. Emmitt Smith had it growing. Doubtful if he would play. No question about who's playing quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. It's Jake the Snake Plummer. If you've got a quarterback that can run and you play man coverage, nobody covers him. There's your 20-yard, 21-yard scamper. Now, Emmitt. How's you going? Up to the right, bounces to the left, back to the outside. He, too, rumbles 21 yards. It's Arizona 3-0. Now, who do you worry about inside the 20? If you got Herschel Walker in the backfield, you better cover him, Jameer Miller. You don't. Aikman, perfect throw. Finally, the Cowboys score inside the 20. Take a 10-3 lead at the half. Third quarter, I mean.
Whistler has never lost 3 straight. Vikings trying to stay atop the NFC Central.
Brian Billick, brilliant offensive coordinator, says, hey, David Palmer, remember at Alabama inside the 10 when you played option quarterback? Take this pitch and run it in. His first rushing touchdown of his career. Back comes Kramer. Bobby Ingram, pass interference by Dwayne Washington. Thank you, sir. It's 7-7. And then Johnson, pump pass. Guns it. Who catches it? Palmer, you bet. 7-yard score. 21-10. Vikings looking good in the third.
Did you rehearse that?
No, I did not.
Packers only a field goal lead over the Rams. Trent Dilfer and the Bucks doing the job.
Dilfer, young quarterback, give me a good running game. I'll put up the numbers. First half, 2 touchdown passes. But this one, look at here. Mike Allstott up the middle. 8-man front, 9-man front. Breaks the tackle. Takes it 47 yards down the sideline. Great balance. Touchdown. Tampa up by 7. Then Chris Chandler, when he's healthy, not a better arm in the NFL. Bernie Manuel, 30-yard touchdown reception. We're all tied up, folks. But back comes the young gun. Look at him fire down the field. Who does he get out of the backfield? Somebody help me. Warren Dunn, 24-yarder. Tampa Bay looking real good. 17-7 at the, 17-10. I like those updates.
I like that switch there. Dolphins 14-10 over the Jets. Battle of excellent coaches on the sidelines there. Jaguars 21 points better than the Chiefs. That one at the half. Bengals and Colts all tied up at 7. Detroit and Washington. Scott Mitchell not there because of a strained leg. But Washington doing a nice job of keeping Barry Sanders contained.
That's right. And if you look at the 2 safeties, you got to say that their safeties are stepping up right now. Stanley Richards, Jesse Campbell, they told me before the game that they had to stop this guy, and they're doing an excellent job, as well as Jesse Campbell got an interception.
If you had told me before this game that there would be Barry Sanders and Terry Allen, there'd be 88 yards total rushing in the first half, I would have called you a fool. Well, that's the fact, folks. But the bottom line is second half, Washington needs to keep the intensity on every single snap, because Barry Sanders is one play away from breaking your back. That's the key. 1 for 9 on third down conversions for Detroit. Their passing game is inept. Their cornerbacks watched an outstanding job allowing those safeties to come up and help out with the run. You got anything you want to add?
Howie,
Howie a fool?
No, you kidding?
Absolutely.
6'5", 280 pounds, buff. No way, not me, man. You think I'm stupid? Now, Ronnie, on the other hand. Psycho, no. I love my man.
With that in mind, we're going to take you back to the second half of that game at the Jack between the lines.
I could take you.
Oh, no, you could.
You'd wear out.
See what happens when we come back in the next half, then, okay?
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
At AIG, one of our jobs is ensuring your favorite Major League Baseball teams, the airlines they fly on, and the stadiums they play in. AIG insures the hot dogs and the satellite broadcasting the game. AIG even insures the gloves, the bats, the balls, and fortunately, the cars in the lot. The AIG companies, insuring your work, your life, your world. To see if you can save money on your auto insurance, call AIG at 888-AIG-AUTO.
Our plan is to help kids with asthma spend their days in classrooms.
Not emergency rooms.
Our plan is to give all children under 2 immunizations.
For more people to have diabetic screenings.
To get flu vaccine. Our plan is for you and your physician.
For your physician to make the critical decisions
concerning your health care.
Our plan is to make a real,
measurable difference
in the health of this community. We're the doctors.
We're the doctors. And this is our plan.
Optima Health Plan.
So powerful, it's almost scary. Boom. the new Trans Am by Pontiac.
The music of LSG, LeVert Sweat Gill, and the Parenthood's Robert Townsend on Vibe.
Monday at 10 p.m. on Fox 33.
I've always dreamed of owning a 4-star restaurant. What growing boy hasn't?
Crackpot luck.
No. Our new head chef.
Someone's in the kitchen with Niles.
All those meals coming. I'm just filling them now.
On Frasier.
Monday night at 6:30 on Fox 33. The Simpsons, weeknights at 6 on Fox 33.
Back at sold-out Jack Kent Cooke Stadium, 13-0, the home team Redskins in front of the visiting Detroit Lions. And some of the numbers from the first half, and obviously Barry Sanders not much of a factor.
Yeah, but check out for the Lions the third down conversions. I mean, they have stalled. The Redskins haven't been that much better. I think the big difference was the turnover. The interception by Jesse Campbell. You could see the whole game change at that point. Washington seemed to have a lot more enthusiasm, a lot more energy about the whole thing. You know, you could see things were starting to head downhill. They couldn't get a series going. Perrott was missing some people, and I think it's a big blow that Scott Mitchell's not in the game right now. I know he's hurt, and I don't want to question whether or not he can come back in, but with this amount of this game, the importance of it, he needs to be in the game.
Well, one of the reasons, of course, that Mitchell struggled was the blanket-like coverage throughout the entire first half by the secondary of the Redskins. So much has been made of them throughout the entire year with their corners, Dishman and Green.
Yeah, when we talk about two of the best corners in the NFL, Green right there locking up speed on speed with Morton. Now Dishman, I mean, he said, I'm going to stay right on Moore's hip pocket the whole time. And that's back again there. That's a big guy on a small guy matchup, and they both get the job done. So when you have that going for you, you can take your safeties, and you got an extra guy to come up to defense against Barry Sanders, and that's exactly what's happened. We saw it with Stanley Richards.
Well, obviously, whatever the game plan was coming in by Norv Turner to slow down Barry Sanders, it has worked perfectly thus far, at least through the first half, but you never count him out.
No, you never count him out, and they got to keep pumping him the ball. But here's what's happening. Look at all the white shirts on each part of the field. I mean, they got a guy inside, they got a guy outside. They are corralling him. And like I said, 5-6 years ago, teams used to talk about form tackling on Barry Sanders, and you got to stay low and all that kind of good stuff. But no, here's what you need. A guy there, there. All the lanes of the field are taken, and that's how you slow him down. Now, Barry has still got that big one in him. There's always that big nut to come. But I'm going to tell you, this guy here, you got to keep pumping him the football.
See the rushes by distance for Sanders through the first half. His longest run, they came back-to-back, in fact, a 10-yard gain, then a 13-yard pickup. But by and large, a quiet day for Sanders. We brought up early in the year, Barry Sanders, the first 2 games of the season, had a grand total of 53 yards. Had a breakthrough week against Chicago with 161. And comes in with better than 100 yards in 7 straight games.
And this is a perfect opportunity for the Redskins now to take control of the game in a sense, because they're getting the ball here if they ever get it, if it ever stays on the tee. Hanson's got that bad boy teed up so high. This is the key matchup we're talking about here. Now, look at the yards that's been gotten on each side. I mean, these are 2 completions for each guy. You know, it's got to be these guys. Because Herman Moore is a big-time player. Morton has got a lot of good skills. But that shows you, when you have that going on the outside, you know, it helps everybody, not just the rest of your defense and stopping a guy like Barry Sanders, but it helps your offense.
So here we go in the second half. The line drive kick, and Brian Mitchell picks it up at the 11. Brings it out across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
The thing that makes Brian Mitchell so good is that he does what every special teams coach wants you to do. Take it north and south. You know, he doesn't juke around, run around. He takes the lead and the toughness to take the hit, but to also break it at any moment. And then he likes to talk a little trash out there, which is old school football, which I like also.
He does plenty of that. So now Farad, 9 of 23 in the first half. We'll give it to Terry Allen, who crosses the 35-yard line, picks up close to 5 yards, tripped up by Mark Carrier, the longtime Chicago Bear.
I would think that Norv Turner would want to keep this ball on the ground as much as possible, and with a 13-0 lead, but I also know that Norv is in love with the play action on second down. If it's anywhere near 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, anything like that.
Terry Allen has had a quiet day like Sanders. He's out close to the 40, his 17th carry, and he's just gone over the 40-yard mark in rushing yards.
And we talk about that weight distribution along the offensive line for the Redskins. You see, this is what each guy outweighs his opponent by. Now, it's only +2 for Ulanate because in the 43 defense, there's really nobody over him, but you can see that's a big difference. Now, Detroit has done a pretty decent job up front using the quickness and speed that they have on the outside with Waldrop and Porcher. But after a while, in the second half, those guys start to mash on you. It can have an effect.
Quarterback keeper, and Farad appears to have enough for a first down, and he does. They'll move the chains. We can only wonder, and we will not know until Detroit gets a football, whether or not Scott Mitchell will return. If they have any hopes of coming back, it's not to say they can't do it with Frank Reich, because of course, he is the comeback kid, both at Maryland and in the playoff game with Buffalo against Houston. Dropped in the backfield is Allen, wrapped up by Porcher.
See, that's what we're talking about there. Robert Porcher using that quickness to get penetration and make that play. That's been the type of play that's kept this team at least close in this game. Right there, 91. Don't do a real great job of blocking him, Sharp or Donish on him. These are the situations where Norv Turner likes to go to the air.
Loss of 3, it's 2nd and 13. Wide open is Bowie, first down and more to the 42. Larry Bowie, second-year pro out of Georgia, a college free agent. Played in a handful of plays last season. He's a big part of the Redskin offense this year.
I'm not so sure that they had him covered down. He's right there. He's just going to shoot up the seam. I don't think anybody covered him. I saw at the last minute, it looked like Carrier ran inside to maybe look for the run. But that makes it easy there when you can just call pitch and catch.
First down to the 42, and Farad throws to Michael Westbrook. And he is tripped up by Carrier down to the 28-yard line. Westbrook returning for the first time in 4 weeks, now has 3 receptions on the day.
See, Norv Turner, of course, he handles the offensive coordinating duties as well as the head coaching duties, starting to get in a nice little roll here. And you can see a comfort zone there from Gus Farad. Those are the type of throws that you have to start Gus Farad on early. Things that require a lot of touch, I'm not sure he's ready for that yet. But give him a big target, he can make that throw.
Looking for a big target, and it should have been intercepted in and out of the hands of Mark Carrier.
Boy, he had some pressure on him, too. Wells inside, 95. He was in his face. And Farad, he pulls that trigger a touch early. But right there. That ball should have been intercepted. He's trying to hit Asher on his drag across the field. Oh, Carrier.
Ooh. And Ronnie, I thought Farad hit his fingers on the helmet of Wells and was kind of wincing in pain as he went back into the huddle. We'll see if that has any effect. He's going to throw it and let us know immediately. And the screen was never there. Somebody went to the wrong spot.
Well, I'm wondering where he's throwing that ball.
Nothing but offensive linemen.
Yeah. He's inside the pocket. I'm not sure where he's throwing that ball. That's a case for an intentional grounding there. I didn't see anybody over there. Unless we missed now. He's inside the pocket there, in between the 2 tight ends. Now. got it back past the line of scrimmage, but I didn't see anybody over there.
No. Jenkins in motion on a 3rd and 10. And Farad, good protection, now in trouble, throws to the end zone, and it's batted away.
Yeah, that's a floater there. You know, why do they get away from the run? That's what I can't understand. You get down in the red area there, approaching the goal line, and you start to not run the ball. The run got them on the other side of the 50. A couple nice runs by Allen early, and then they get away from it. Watch Farad throw this ball. He's just going to let this one come way off his back heel. Look at the way that ball floats. Westbrook looked as though he mistimed his jump a bit.
And now another long field goal try by Bland to hit from 50 at the end of the first half. This from 46, and he hooked it. He didn't have nearly enough distance anyway. So the Redskins fail to score in their opening drive of the second half. It remains 13-0.
I'm the road to Canterbury. Hello, dear. Thank you. Of course, you Americans hate the rain. Oh, it's too wet and scary. Mommy won't let me come out and play.
The road is cold, and the 1998 ES300 with front-wheel drive and available traction control will help you answer it.
Not bad, but you're on the wrong side of the road.
Hello? Honey, I'm having the baby.
You can't have it now.
Can you come home?
No. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Things took weeks for news to reach its destination. Today, neither time nor distance can keep us from sharing our lives.
Breathe, honey. Hey, you get another contraction? 5, 6, 7.
Philips introduces ISIS, the cellular phone that can let you talk up to 6 long hours.
I love you, honey. Honey?
ISIS from Philips.
Reaching your financial goals can be a complex balancing act. At the Principal Financial Group, you will find the strength of our investment performance is your 401k retirement advantage. You will find our flexibility will meet your insurance needs. And you'll find the balance of choice and quality you need in health coverage. For over 100 years, the Principal has made the complex simple. That's how we give you an edge. The Principal.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Lexus. The future of Lexus is here. Fasten your seatbelts. By The Jackal, a universal release starring Bruce Willis and Richard Gere, starts Friday, November 14th, rated R. By the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort. And by Gossamer Bay Vineyards, wine with the taste that's meant to be shared.
This was right before, right at the commercial here. Mitchell hovering over Bobby Ross, hoping maybe he would get the nod.
And you saw the thigh, right thigh, that was injured early in the game and taped up early in the game, no longer taped up. Maybe we will see Mitchell again. And hit from behind his right just as he threw by Rich Owens. Incompleted, 2nd and 10. While we have a moment of McDonald's game break time, let's return to JB at our Fox Television Center.
Tom and Ryan, the Rams picked off Brett Favre 5 times the last time they played, 2 times in the first half today, but Favre makes them pay this time. Hooked up for 25 yards with Antonio Freeman. 10-0 Green Bay lead. Back to Washington, Tom and Ron.
All right, JB, thank you very much. 13-0 Redskins here as we're just underway in the 3rd quarter. A 2nd and 10 from their own 35, and Reich rolls, throws in and out of the hands of Herman Moore. Well, we understand at halftime that Scott Mitchell had the right thigh area taped up underneath his uniform, so he is still injured. But he looked like, as you pointed out, Ronnie, that he wanted to come back in, but now he has the jacket on. We'll wait and see.
And the thing about this, I wonder where and when are they going to start to get Barry Sanders back into this game. You got to keep pumping it to him. Barry Sanders is like a slot machine. It may be bad to you early, but sooner or later that bad boy's going to hit.
3rd and 10, right, good protection.
And that right there is definitely not going to hit. That right there is going to get you killed. Now that's 3 and out. And the worst part about it is, you know, that's the guy in practice that takes most of the reps. The backup quarterback only gets about 20% of the reps. So, like I say, the confidence of the rest of your offense and the rest of the team has to go in a different direction. And once again, Mitchell's got plenty of room to run.
Took it from his 7 and brings it out to the 24-yard line. What a punt.
He fielded that one back in the 7. Forget the 10-yard rule. I'm Brian Mitchell. I'll make my own rules.
After the movie, we'll go to McDonald's.
Did somebody say McDonald's? I could go for a Big Mac.
It's the McDonald's fries.
McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Budweiser. I can't believe they went with the frogs.
Louis.
Our audition was flawless.
Louis.
We did the look. Huh? We did the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Louis, frogs sell beer. That's it, man. #1 rule of marketing.
The Budweiser lizards. We could have been huge.
Hey, there'll be other auditions.
Oh, yeah, for what? This was Budweiser, buddy.
No.
This was big. Those frogs are gonna pay.
Let it go, Louis. Let it go.
Crystal water turns to dark, where'er its presence leaves its mark, and boiling currents pound like drums when something wicked this way comes. Introducing the faster, sleeker, meaner GS.
Monday, Allie's boss gets flagged for an illegal procedure.
Oh, God, no. He's gonna pick it.
Ugh. An all-new Ally McBeal, Monday after Melrose Place.
We remind you of Fox doubleheader weekend, and the back end of our double dip will feature the rivalry between the Redskins and the Cowboys. That gets underway right here on Fox at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific.
And that one is not for crybabies. If you have a weak stomach, stay home. There'll be some hitting going on down there.
And you see Norv Turner trying to get his first win before or after a Dallas game. And right now he leads 13-0. Terry Allen cracks his secondary all the way out to the 41-yard line. A gain of 16 by Allen.
See, they don't stop feeding Terry Allen the football. They don't stop on their run game. And it starts with the blocking up front. Ulenik, he's got his man locked up, and that's just a good job of vision by Terry Allen. You know, all good running backs have that vision, and then Terry Allen has got the ability to do stuff like that, to be powerful yet light on his feet enough to step over people.
57 yards on 19 carries for Allen. This is 20, picks up a couple of yards. Mentioned Allen returned after a knee injury, missing a couple of games, getting wounded against Dallas. His first carry against Chicago last week, 30 yards, and went on to pile up 125 on the day.
But how impressive is Terry Allen? Here's a guy, 2 reconstructive knee surgeries as we look at where he's been running, and he has had 1,000-yard seasons after each of those surgeries. I mean, that is not an easy thing to do. And you see all his yards, he's a north-south type guy.
Short drop for Rock throws, and the catch is made by Leslie Shepard to the Detroit 48. First down, Redskins.
Leslie Shepard, a guy as a child who wore braces on his legs, severely bow-legged, and they tried to correct the problem, and people told him he would never run, he would never be very fast, and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, well. You know, opposing corners in the NFL, he's not very fast.
And he's really, despite being surrounded by bigger names, become Verlott's go-to guy in this offense. Allen trying to break it to the outside. Terrific play made by the 12-year veteran out of Cincinnati, George Jamison.
Jamison took over some time ago for Antonio London because they liked his ability to play the run game. And there's a perfect example of it right there. They feel like Antonio London can be better in the pass rushing department, but you got to have people at linebacker that can stop the run and be a force. And you got to admire this Lion defense. They play hard in spite of what may go on offense. You know, there's still a defense that's ranked in the top 10 in the NFL.
Making the reception out of the backfield. First time we've called the name of Stephen Davis all the way to the 31, and another first down, a 19-yard gain.
You know, Stephen Davis is a guy that, once again, he's a bigger guy, and he could probably run you over, but he thinks he's a little wide receiver. And he's got those little quick, elusive moves, and he's better on his feet at juking people than I think a lot of guys think.
Michael Westbrook applauding the effort there of Stephen Davis, and they give it to Terry Allen. And again, not much room as he's forced to the sideline by Ron Rice.
Sometimes all you can do on the field is just stop, watch, and clap. You know?
Why not?
You got to know your role, right? Good clapper out there. Good cheerleader.
Boy, if they could find a way to get Westbrook on track somehow, some way down the stretch, to go with Allen in the backfield, Shepard in the tight end, Asher, if Farad could become a little more consistent, this could be the champion of the East.
Yeah, and even though they're starting to work Ellard out, you can't forget about Henry Ellard because of his experience and his playmaking ability. Watch out.
Allen makes the catch, runs right through Carrier, and is close to a first down at the 20. Carrier didn't wrap him up.
Pads on pads.
It was good enough for a first down. First and 10 at the 20. Locked down to 6 minutes here in the third. A 13-0 Washington.
Up and go.
Looking for the end zone, and Shepard, they got tangled up down there, and a flag comes in. They got locked up with Westbrook.
Boy, they called Westbrook on a little push after the pump and go, and he really didn't have to do it. Watch, the Shepard's going to fake the short route and then go right there. Oh boy, I don't know. You know, he grabs him a little bit right here. You know, if they want to call it, they can call it because Westbrook's not looking back at the football. The question is, if that's Darrell Green, would they call that? Or Chris Dishman, would they call that?
Well, based on what we've seen today, the answer to that question is not a chance. First and goal at the 3. Allen sniffs the end zone. Did he get there? No. He's just short, tripped up by Carrier.
Bobby's jacket is purple.
So is his mood.
So is that mood. Yes. So is the time of possession. That's unbelievable. Whew.
3 pass plays
that read it right? It's 27 seconds?
Yeah, 3 pass plays and out. Second and goal inside the 1.
That's a good way to stop Barry Sanders.
Allen. Second effort. Touchdown, Terry Allen. And Allen has not gotten up.
Oof. Terry Allen did that all by himself. He was hit well in front of the goal line, but knew that if he can stretch the ball across the plane, it'll be a touchdown. They're coming up to the right side. Watch the white shirts. Try to get some penetration. Now, he's hit here. A good stop by Kolakowski, but see, it's over as soon as that ball crosses. Once again, it's where your knee touches and then where the ball is after your knee touches. Some good penetration inside, though, by the Lions. That bounces him outside a little bit early, but he knows all he has to do is just stretch. And he punctured the plane of the goal line while he was in the air with the ball.
Been a rough year health-wise for Terry Allen. He broke his thumb the opening game against Carolina. He missed 1 game and was inactive, as we mentioned earlier, the last 2 games before Chicago with a knee injury. Let's listen to that hit.
That last hit there.
Matt Russell,
Yeah,
the backup
Matt
middle
Russell,
linebacker.
right there. Matt Russell has come up and made some pretty good hits today.
Well, when you win the Butkus Award as the best linebacker in college football, you're supposed to hit people. And Allen apparently is all right. Allen had 21 touchdowns rushing a season ago. That's his third this year. And now Blanton for the point after.
Whoa.
Flags down on the field.
Looked like he topped that one off. Done, Detroit.
Yep, offsides Detroit.
Offside. Defense, number 35. Extra point is good. 5 yards on the kickoff.
So the point after is good. And happy Norv Turner. Where's the smile, Norv? Well, at least a pump of the fist. 20-0 Washington.
Oh, man. Where's he going? Mountains? River? Both? It's Tuesday. People work on Tuesday.
Freedom on the Field, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. The worst mistake a quarterback can commit is throwing an interception.
Intercepted by Todd Bell.
Turns out, the worst mistake a defense can commit is throwing an interception.
It's the drive to succeed that makes a champion. Pitching in, fighting the battle as a team. Using heart, not just mind and body. Giving whatever it takes. Going the distance for the fan. And loving every minute of it. Southwest Airlines is a proud sponsor of the NFL and the official airline of Super Bowl 32.
How far will Mulder go to save Scully?
Quit the FBI. Come work for me.
The monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Well, the numbers certainly don't lie. Washington has won 5 of 6 games when that man is in the starting lineup. When he hasn't been, 3 times this year, they're winless. And they lead today 20-0 with 5:19 to play in the third quarter.
I think that says a little something about running the football, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
And running it well.
Short kick, Milburn from the 8. Whoa. Has some daylight. Looking for a block, and he's out all the way to midfield. Finally tripped up by the safety, Stanley Richard. So we'll see if the Lions can get back into this one. They trailed 20-0.
There's no question that computers open up entirely new worlds. But what about children who live in a world that can't afford personal computers? Fortunately, as of today, we'll never have to ask that question again. Network computers allow everyone to join the information age. And we'd like to say, welcome, Oracle, enabling the information age.
Who are these people? They go to the strangest places, work in the tightest quarters, and gladly keep the oddest hours. Who are they? Forever probing and prodding, digging, exploring. Who are these people? They are Texaco, and what they do is find the energy the world needs to keep on running. Texaco, a world of energy.
tallest mountain in North America is 20,320 feet. Cool.
Tonight's secrets will be revealed. Will Joe Namath help Bart Simpson win the championship? Is Bobby Hill the next supermodel? And then the startling conclusion of the season premiere of The X-Files. Tonight, so many secrets just on Fox.
That's my guy, Bart. That's not your guy, it's my guy.
You and him are buddies.
Yeah, we're tight.
20-0 Washington. Barry Sanders is first carry in the second half and a big one. He's by one defender inside the 10. Touchdown, Barry Sanders. No penalty flags on the field. He races 51 yards for the score.
The slot machine hit. You kept pumping it, and there it was.
There is no penalty flag on the field. The touchdown will stand for Sanders.
You knew something was wrong. You come out your first possession in the third quarter. You don't run Barry Sanders. You go 1, 2, 3 and out. Here's the cutback, and it's the great vision. Nice block right there. And this is what I'm talking about. I think Barry Sanders got faster. I know that Richard can run, but Barry Sanders smokes him.
All of a sudden, the Lions, one big return by Milburn, a long run by Sanders, the extra point by Hansen, and they're back in the football game with 4:57 to play here in the third quarter. Barry Sanders, who today became the third leading rusher in NFL history, adding to that total as he now chases Eric Dickerson.
Did we rent with Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Did we rent with Hertz #1 Club Gold?
Did we rent with Hertz? Not exactly. Can't we skip the rental counter like at Hertz?
Can't we skip the rental counter?
No, not exactly. No. Isn't our car under a canopy like at Hertz?
Isn't our car under a canopy?
Isn't our car not exactly? In rent-a-car, there's Hertz and there's not exactly. We can't repeat that too often. If you were the client, would you hire us?
Would you hire us?
If you were the client, would you?
Exactly.
Social Security and pensions may provide only 45% of your retirement income. That could let some air out of your retirement plans. Fortunately, MetLife is there to help you make sense of annuities and other retirement options. Call 1-800-MetLife.
No matter what you drive, Sears has a Michelin tire for you. And now they're all on sale. All Michelin tires on sale through November 18th.
It was just one of those nights. It was just one of those fabulous flights.
When you're searching for something better, when you're looking for a change, every once in a while, you come across a Gossamer Bay. Capture something better.
Olympic hopefuls from around the world gather to compete in the Prime Star Skate International of Germany. Coverage begins next, here on Fox.
There it is. They kept running him here. They got back to running him here, and that's what happens. Sooner or later, he's going to hit. And he hits on a big one.
Absolutely an unbelievable career for Barry Sanders, and you forget sometimes he's only 29 years old.
He's happy now. I would be too.
20-7, and Hansen to kick it away. Short kick, very returnable from Mitchell from his own 15. And he just did get tripped up as he brings it out to the 30-yard line.
Let's go back to the touchdown right here. Glover and Hardings. Watch the block they get on these two guys in here. That will open it up on the backside for the cutback. And look at that, Vardell. That's a nice shot on the rookie, Smith. And see, vision, he's got the great vision, and he's going to see that. You can't give Barry Sanders that kind of opening. And then you got to do the backside. If you're going to run the cutback, the backside has to be taken care of, and those guys are getting no love back there.
So Now a big series for the Washington offense and the Detroit defense. A play fake to Allen, a screen the other way to Bowie. And he picks up close to 9 yards. Tackled by Stephen Boyd at the 39.
That's a great first down call. You've been running the football pretty good on first down. Now come with the fake. Nice touch pass for Gus Frerotte. Nothing too hairy for him. Not too far down the field. But, you know, they're still up 20-0. They got to still think about running the football. 27, excuse me. They still got to think about taking time off that clock.
Bowie has enough for a first down as he drags tacklers with him out to the 44 near the crowd. Bowie for Larry Bowie. Boy, Sonny Jurgensen told us before the game that this guy has been a special part of the Washington offense and has gone about it quietly. Very quietly. Here's our buddy Sonny Jurgensen. Boy, did we have fun with him before the game today. In our booth for about an hour, hour and a half, just talking football.
I thought he was going to stay and do the game.
I did too. I hoped he might. We could use all the help we can get.
Yeah.
Allen dropped
Give
in the
that man that
backfield.
spare mic that's sitting up there. That's what it's there for.
You know, I thought you were going to ask him to, you know, to maybe come on in. Sonny, Sonny, you want to come on over?
I don't know if he hears it. I thought he made a good point about, you know, people not running the ball enough. He said back when I played, the quarterbacks called their own plays. Look at him smoking that stove. Called their own plays. So if you were taking too many hits as a quarterback, darn right you gave that ball to somebody else. So that evened out the run-pass ratio.
Swinging out the flat to Terry Allen. And he's shoved out of bounds at the 48-yard line by Jamison, so it brings up a crucial third down. You say crucial only because the clock continues to roll under 2.5 here in the third, and Detroit needs to get the football back.
You say crucial because you know who's going to get the ball coming back if Detroit gets the ball again on offense. You know who's going to get the ball. That guy right there.
3rd down and 7. 3 wideouts check in for the Redskins.
Here comes the blitz inside by Bailey.
Frerotte gets it away, and it's good enough for a first down to the tight end, Jamie Asher, down to the 41.
I thought Frerotte did a great job on that play of not panicking and finding the open guy when the blitz came. Top of your screen, Bailey's going to come down 35 and blitz. They brought the linebacker also. Let's see, steps in, holds his water, and makes the throw. Look at the drama on the left side here. They bring some people on that left side. Frerotte didn't panic and found an open Asher running across the field.
New set of downs for the Redskins. And you see 22 first downs for Washington, 6 for Detroit. Batted down by Carrier on a throw to Ellert across the middle.
Mark Carrier has turned into the leader on this team and the defense and maybe this team. You know, he's a guy that comes in from Chicago and wasn't quite happy with the way he was being used there the last few years. He went to the Pro Bowl that first year, but after that, I don't think he had much going on. But here they're using him a lot and moving him around. He said, I come in and I blitz. You know, I feel like this is my defensive team. I can take control and help us win.
Allen slips a couple of tackles inside the Lion 40, down to the 37, and yet another 3rd down upcoming for the Redskins. Waldrop on the stop.
I thought it was also interesting what Mark Carrier told us the other day. He said, I tell our guys on defense, don't worry about the offense. When they struggle, that's not our concern. Our concern is to go out every single series and play football. Take care of yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. And that's what you have to do.
3rd down and 6 for the Redskins. They need to get to the 31-yard line. Frerotte lost it across the middle. Dangerous throw, and it's incomplete. So the Redskins will have to punt.
Huge stand by Detroit that time. Got off the football field. Now they can get the ball back into the hands of Barry Sanders.
Again, for those of you just joining us, Scott Mitchell left the game in the first half, injuring the right thigh, right groin area. He has not returned. Frank Wright has been on in relief. And now Milburn awaits the punt of Turk.
Milburn's got to catch that one.
He does it at 10, breaks a couple of tackles, tries to slip to the outside, and brings it out to the 15-yard line before being tackled by Campbell. Well, Barry Sanders coming off his last carry, a 51-yard touchdown. Has gone 7 consecutive games over 100 yards rushing. The big breakthrough game, week 3 against Chicago, after the first 2 games when he had a total of 53 yards. And the monster game was Tampa Bay.
And I still say he runs better out of a one-back offense than he does with a fullback standing in front of him. It clutters his vision. I think you need to give him the ball and let him pick his spots.
Well, they must have heard you, because he finds a seam and carries out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, and Sanders knocking on the door again at 100 yards as Richard tripped him up.
You know, looking at that all-time leading rusher list, the guy that really surprises me up there, Dickerson. I don't think a lot of people really know that he had that many yards and a relatively short career for running backs as it goes.
Well, the longtime offensive lineman Jackie Slater, of course, who blocked for Dickerson, will tell you when you ask him, who's the best running back you ever saw that you either played with or somebody else? He said, it's not even close. He said Dickerson was that good.
And, you know, Walter Payton is his homeboy.
We've reached the end of the third quarter. Detroit back in it, trailing the Redskins 20-7.
Bruce Willis stars in the network premiere of Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tuesday on Fox.
There are cars that are built to appeal to your passionate side and your practical side. For the passionate, cab-forward design, Argent aluminum wheels, Air V6 engine, and at no extra charge, a new luxurious leather-trimmed interior with an 8-way power driver's seat. Now for the practical side, the new Chrysler Cirrus LXi with all this is just $18,495, loaded. Now get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% financing, only at your Chrysler dealer.
I am the driver human. I have needs. At times, I have the driver human instinct to feel safe and secure. At other times, I have the human instinct to fly.
Introducing the Exxon Driver Card, exclusively designed for driver humans and their passengers.
Johnny Bench. This fall, S&K brings you Italy in suits crafted from Super 100's Italian fabrics. Finzies at 2 for under $350. They're half what you'd expect to pay. Fantastical. So, come to S&K.
Why have a sandwich that's been lying around when you can go to Subway and try our steak and cheese, roasted chicken breast, and Subway melt? Hot sandwiches that aren't hamburgers. Take the Subway Challenge.
A taste of Seattle.
All those deals coming. I'm just printing them now.
On Frasier.
Monday night at 6:30 on Fox 33.
Join me weeknights at 11 on Fox 33.
7, Washington in front as we're set to begin the fourth quarter. And the beat goes on for Barry Sanders as he has reached the 100-yard mark today. An NFL record with 8 straight road games of 100 or more yards rushing, breaking the old mark that he came in tied today with Marcus Allen, another future Hall of Famer. And it's 8 in a row overall this season now for Sanders at 100. First and 10 from the 20. Sanders avoids a couple of tacklers.
He needs
looking
a block.
for one block in.
And he got it, too.
Yeah, but got a nice open field tackle by Richard, and a flag is down.
Herman Moore just came back and laid out. Looks like that might be Dishman.
Yep.
Woo! And, you know, that's not a grudge thing there. You see Herman Moore standing over him. He just got the wind knocked out of him. Hey, Herman's mad about all that tight coverage he's been getting all day long. Bam! football field, you're on the battlefield. You keep your head on the swivel. And so you know what? The guy that saves the touchdown here or the long run is the safety. That's Stanley Richard. And we talked about the corners locking up man-to-man and being able to use those safeties. He makes a great play then.
Well, they're taking a look at Dishman, and we will step aside, send it back to James Brown at our Fox Television Center for a McDonald's game break.
Tom and Ron, a dearth of rushing touchdowns for the Cowboys. Only the second rushing touchdown for Emmitt Smith all season long. Cowboys on top right now by the score of 24-6. Back to Tom and Ron.
Well, this division very much up for grabs. Dallas trying to get back to 500. Washington trying to go 2 over. And the Giants at 6-3, led by Danny Cannell.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, this thing's going to heat up. Giants got to play Washington twice. Philly's a team that, you know, they've had so much trouble on the road. And they got a huge Monday nighter coming up.
Yeah, they'll take on San Francisco tomorrow night. And again, next week, the back end of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. It'll be the Redskins and the Cowboys. Washington got them a few weeks back. And the Redskins have played very well against Dallas, having won 4 of the last 5. Darryl Pounds is checked in, replacing the injured Chris Dishman. There was holding against Detroit on that play. 2nd and long, and Wright drops it off out of the backfield to Wardell.
And they got a flag back there.
He has a first down if it stands all the way out to the 38, but a flag all the way back where Reich let the pass go.
That could be a roughing the passer.
That's exactly what it is, a personal foul against Kennard Lang, the rookie out of Miami.
Kennard Lang, number 90, he's the rook now. He's got to know after the release of that ball, he can have one step, but he can't touch him up around the head. Oh, man. Kennard, that's just dumb right there. He took about 4 and then chested him like that was going to make a difference. You got the official standing right behind you there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
See, not only is that, you know, you have a great run, but now that's another 15er after the tackle. That's huge. Those are little things that get you beat. This is why you don't stand around piles.
Oh, that's Mike Compton hitting Stanley Richard.
Mike Compton will not be getting a Christmas card from Stanley Richard this year.
Play fake to Sanders, and Reich looking for 6, has an open Johnny Morton. The pass underthrown and intercepted by Pounds.
Great play by Darryl Pounds. You don't lose anything when Darryl Pounds goes into the game. Earlier in the game, we saw him make that great play, turning around on someone else's man to swat the ball.
Boy, that could be a real backbreaker for the Lions.
Just when you think you know where the new Dodge is headed, they turn things around on you. Introducing Durango, a whole new kind of roomy, powerful, versatile sport utility. As you can see, the new Dodge is covering new ground. Some of which seems to be covering me. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
I wrote this letter. Dear Lotus, I think the web should be used for surfing and having fun, not for business. Business is boring. Mikey Powers.
You know what, Mikey? Guess what? You're a kid. You can't boat, you can't drive, you can't handle the fact that big companies are using the web to save $1 billion and get their products to market faster. All you care about is fooling around on your computer, right? But who pays for that fancy computer, huh? Your parents. How do they make money? Business. So you know what, Mikey? Go to bed.
Hey, NFL fans, do us a favor, please. Put something on. Like officially licensed NFL merchandise at Goodyear. Right now, get some of Goodyear's best selected tires like Aquatrex, Eagles, and Wranglers. And get $50 or $75 good towards officially licensed NFL merchandise at participating Goodyear retailers. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR for the retailer nearest you. Great Goodyear treads in incredible NFL thread. Whoa, nice fashion statement, fella.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By fast, reliable FedEx. It's the way the world works. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
Big turnover as Pop Reich underthrew a wide-open Johnny Morton, and right there to pick it off, that man, Darryl Pounds, his second interception of the season. And remember, Pounds was filling in for the injured Dishman.
Darryl Pounds is turning into an impact guy very rapidly.
Terry Allen crossing the 20 out to the 25. Let's go back to the interception.
This is what we're talking about. This ball has to be thrown up the field further. Stop it. That ball needs to be up here in the middle of the field and have more air under it, because you're going to watch Johnny Morton have to slow down, come back for the ball. Well, guess who else slows down and comes back for the ball? The stutter move is pretty darn good. Outside, he sold him on the out. Good job of recovery also by Pounds. Even though it's a underthrown ball, Pounds shows some makeup speed.
On a 2nd and 4, Allen has enough for a first down as he carries to the 30.
I look at Terry Allen, Tom, and I can't help but think about some of the other running backs in this Redskin history. You know, you talk about guys immediately come to mind: Riggo, John Riggins,
Larry Brown,
Rogers here for a while, Biner here for a while. I mean, those are all low to the ground, hard-running guys that can break it at any time.
Reggie Brown injured, and he'll have to leave the field. We'll step aside and we'll return.
How do you stop a rhino from charging? How?
Travel with Joseph Van Oss Photo Safari to Kenya's land of the Maasai.
How do you stop a rhino from charging?
And you'll see a culture and a wildlife like no other on Earth.
How do you stop a rhino from charging?
But bring your Visa card.
How do you stop a rhino from charging? Give it an American Express card.
Because this photo safari doesn't take American Express.
Wait till they hear this in Nairobi.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
We're back at Ericsson Stadium where we're down to the final seconds of the game, and it's still tied. The kick's high. And
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
These days, it seems like there's a sport utility behind every treat. Well, here's a tip to help you choose the right one. Look for the one with innovations, like our elevated theater seating. The most power and towing capacity in its class. The strongest frame, the most seating configurations, the most room. You'll know it when you see it. Durango. New ground for the new Dodge.
You want hardcore football?
Let's try out the new cup.
Joe Namath guest stars on a brand new Simpsons tonight on Fox.
Chris Dishman injured a moment ago. Let's send it down to our man on the sideline, Brett Haber, for an update.
Tommy, we spoke to the Redskins trainer. Chris Dishman has a bruised sternum on that collision with Herman Moore. He should be back in the game, which is very good news because he and Darrell Green make up the #1 pass defense corners in the entire NFL. Back up to you.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. Meanwhile, Terry Allen, another carry, and he's out to the 35-yard line, tripped up by Stephen Boyd after a gain of 5.
Bruised sternum, basically that means, Tom, that somebody went up in your chest and gave you a shot. See, there's Dishman there. He's not even looking. Bam. And that's a clean hit. It's all shoulder. None of that crown of the helmet business.
Dishman signed, of course, as a free agent leaving Houston as they were leaving the Lone Star State on their way to Tennessee. Big hole for Allen. Another Washington first down. Out to the 43.
Big Trey Johnson down inside here. Well, those guys are opening up some holes. We're talking now the weight of the offensive line starting to lean a little bit on Detroit's defensive line. Oh, that's huge. You can hold when you can hold the ball that long. That's what some teams average a game. And and you're sitting here at 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
First down, and again, they'll give it to Allen. Breaks one tackle and able to stay on his feet out of bounds out to the 46-yard line. Pushed out by Corey Raymond, and Terry Allen now beginning to pile up the yards.
Wind it.
Terry Allen, 31 carries today, 94 yards. And generally, if the Redskins can rush for better than 100 yards as a team in a game, and they are close to unbeatable.
Excuse me, Tom, and that's why Stephen Davis is such a good compliment to a Terry Allen, because you look at him and you think, okay, kind of the same guy, but Davis looks to be a step quicker, a step faster, and a step more elusive.
Short drop, Farad lost it to Asher, and it's off his fingertips. You know, we were talking about, since Norv Turner left as offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys, coming to the Redskins as head coach in '94. He likes to throw the ball, but the numbers simply don't lie. That's as a team. When they're less than 100 yards, a record of 3-25. When they're more than 100, 20-9. Today, they're at 114.
Like you said, those numbers don't lie.
No, they don't.
You can say what you want to in the papers and all that, but proof is on the ground.
Redskins spend their first time out of the second half before this 3rd and 7. Farad will talk it over with Turner.
We surprised you with the largest interior in the class, the biggest engine available, a remarkably long wheelbase, and the steering feel of a sports sedan. And then J.D. Power & Associates added one more surprise. They ranked Dakota most appealing compact pickup. Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Dad, what's that?
Well,
Dad, it's a bear.
I'll check. Everything's fine. Would a nightlight help, son?
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard, tried and true.
Ha ha, Dad, very funny.
I rolled the dice for $8. I unloaded my Tonka for $12.
Get the lowest commissions possible with Ameritrade. Internet trade for $8, touch-tone trade for $12, or trade with a broker just $18 no matter how many shares you trade.
We went to Club Med for $18.
Plus, your first 5 trades are commission-free when you open an account. Call 1-800-592-7542 or visit our website. Ameritrade. Smartest way to trade, period.
Coming up after football, don't miss world champion Elvis Stoico and other Olympic hopefuls as they compete in the Prime Star Skate International of Germany. It's all coming up right here on Fox. Ron Pitt's quite the ice skating fan.
I'm giving you sound effects.
Very nice. You ought to be doing the analysis on that.
I may well be. I keep working with you.
3rd and 7, and the throw. Good enough for a first down to Westbrook. Still on his feet. Down the sideline. And they're saying he's 73-yard line.
That is the level that I'm talking about. The game changes when Westbrook is in. You know, he's the big guy. He's the tall guy. He's strong. He give you the, oh, well. Now, Farad gets this one off, but he pays a heavy duty on it, as you're going to see. He got his head snapped back by Pordanish. Now, this is just a deep comeback. The catch is made. Nothing big, but watch what he does after the catch. That's 1, 2. I don't know how he even felt, Bailey. Look at the stiff arm there. That is impact play by a guy who they need to step up and do that type of stuff, be an impact player.
And Terry Allen has gone over 100 yards if it stands. There's a penalty flag in the Washington backfield. Certainly Michael Westbrook's return, as they will flag Redskins, but Westbrook, 4 receptions today. You see 93 yards. He came in with a grand total of 11.
Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Just to finish that thought, Westbrook 11 receptions all year long. He did miss 3 weeks with a knee injury.
Yeah. One of the things Norv Turner also said about Michael Westbrook is that we don't need him in there the whole game. He's been banged up, but when he's in, we need him to do just that. Make big plays, do what he just did. That changes how you have to play in the secondary. You got to start thinking about putting some help on a guy like that.
First down and 20, and Farad, good protection, and overthrows Leslie Shepard. 2nd and 20.
Joe Patton getting up real slow.
Well, he was injured earlier in the game, had to leave for a few plays, and then obviously did return.
Things got dicey down there when Bob Dahl was out hurt. He came back probably too early from a knee surgery. In fact, he's had 3 knee surgeries since last summer. When he was out of the game, boy, that whole offensive line went into a tirade. They had guys playing everywhere. And it's a good thing they got guys like Bordonich that can play tackle and guard.
Out of the backfield, Bowie makes a catch to the Detroit 27. It'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Redskins at the 10:30 mark. Washington a 20-7 lead. Baradas hit on 19 out of 40 for 212 yards. He has 1 touchdown pass. It came to James Jenkins. 3rd and 15. And they pitch it to Brian Mitchell, and he is dropped after a gain of maybe a yard. So now Bland will come on for a very long field goal attempt.
Fans here starting to boo a little bit, but that's one of those plays, and you look at Mitch, he's got that look on his face like, what went on there? That's one of those plays where you just toss it and try to get what you can get and kick your field goal. Bailey's slow to get up. And when you're 5'9", 180 trying to play in the NFL, that's rough. Plenty of guys small and smaller than that doing it, but you got to spend some extra time in the hot tub on Mondays, that's for sure.
See, Bland is hit on 2 of 4. This one will be from 45 yards. Out of the hold of Farad. Did he get it? Wow. Yes, he did. On again, off again, Dave, for Blanton.
Somehow, Blanton puts it under green. They don't always look pretty getting there, like your shot.
A lot like it.
No matter what you drive, Sears has a Michelin tire for you. And now they're all on sale. All Michelin tires on sale through November 18th.
Tell us the truth, Dr. Trang. Which battery will last over 30% longer in these digital cameras? Duracell or Energizer?
Energizer.
Well, lucky bunny.
I'll be back on Tuesday. The number's on the fridge. I color-coded all your meals so you won't be confused. The blue one is a beef dish. B is for beef. The pink one's a pork dish. P is for pork. You get the idea. The green one is for vegetables. It should be violet for vegetables.
But I thought you might see violet but think purple and interpret pork, which would defeat the whole purpose of convenient color coding altogether. 4 minutes on high, stir halfway. Bye, guys.
So what do you guys want for dinner, blue or pink?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I hope Mom color-coded breakfast, too.
Watch the center here for the Redskins get canned. This is what you used to do when you're playing out in the sand lot. And now watch the draw on this kick. Like I said, it's like one of your little shots.
Yeah, except there's not a splash at the end of that.
Or that sand poof.
Dan Turk, the victim there at the front end of that field goal from Blanton, who bangs it into the end zone. Milburn will take a knee with 9:18 left and a 23-7 Redskin advantage.
There goes Dishman. He's walking back out. They must put some ice on his chest. He's ready to go.
Boy, what an upset that would be. You saw the score a moment ago with a minute and a half left. Chicago has taken a 1-point lead over Minnesota at the Metrodome.
I think Chicago's playing better away from home than they are at home.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a whopping 1 win, and they won at Miami. You're really going out on a limb as Wright throws it away.
I try to make bold statements whenever I can.
Boy. Take a look at thus far our game summary and what has taken place here today. Barry Sanders races by Tony Dorsett as the third all-time leading rusher in the history of the NFL. Scott Mitchell had to leave early. Brian Mitchell has been a factor today.
Absolutely, on those kick returns and the punt return. Ball's up.
Reich overthrows the intended receiver, Tommy Boyd.
Darryl Pounds is making a great case for himself. They got a flag down. When it comes contract time.
We have not called the name of Herman Moore often today. You see 2 catches, both coming in the opening quarter for a grand total of 11 yards. He came in the #1 receiver in the NFL with 66
Number
receptions.
71 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
See, you look around this team, and they have definitely got the weapons, but there's been inconsistency in the guy who throws to the weapons. And that people in Detroit are going to think more and more back to that Green Bay game last week because they were there and they were playing well and they had them. They're moving the ball, and just some really bad throws made that killed them. Not only one for the touchdown, but some in the red area, right? Going in where at least you got points. And Bobby Ross almost lost his mind on the sidelines there after one of them. Look at the time.
Wright throws across the middle and underthrows the intended receiver, Johnny Morton. And Reich
Frank
now
is
is
slow
down.
to get up there. It looked like he got a shot on his wrist, and there's no question about that. Number 3 has got to come in the game.
Matt Blunden, the third quarterback designated prior to the game, played his college football at the University of Virginia.
So the rule here, and he's the third quarterback, designated as the third guy. It's the 4th quarter. So Mitchell could, by rule, come back in if they needed him. Woo!
Wow.
Wow. Man, that'll be on the highlight film there.
Chris Mims
And
got
you know,
it from the top. And Owens from the bottom.
That's a heck of a shot there. Now, they're going to try to put double coverage on somebody here. It'll probably be Herman Moore. And actually, they're just sitting back in the zone. That's all they did. And then if they go to the backside, they got Tommy Boyd over there. Dishman feels like he can just sit and play with him. He's got help over the top. They don't have much confidence that Frank Reich can beat him up the field. I mean, you saw underthrew that one ball, led to the interception. So Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator, is just going to sit back in real soft zones, put a guy everywhere in each part of the field, and make them have to fit a ball in there.
Like to remind you, this game presented by authority of the NFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. Reich will leave. And now taking over the number 3 quarterback, Matt Blunden. Blunden did not play in the NFL last season. He was with Kansas City from 92 through 95. He saw action in just one game in 93, one more in 94. Played for the Scottish Claymores of the World Football League in 95. There you see Mark Trestman, the former offensive coordinator of the 49ers, now the quarterbacks coach of Detroit. And you see the career numbers of Blunden. Hammered as he throws, and Pounds, an interception, and 6.
want to start off coming into the game as a number 3 quarterback. And we can't say enough about Daryl Pounds, can we?
You made the call. They don't lose a whole lot when he's in there. And Ken Harvey delivered the hit on Blunden.
And now he's got to go back to the sideline and explain it to Mark Trestman. What were you thinking about? You know, we're backed up here. It's already, we're already down here, and now you're going to serve one up like that. I don't know if didn't look like he got hit or the ball got touched on the way out.
Point after is good. And that makes it 30-7 Washington.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That was by Harvey.
He got that hit right on that shoulder.
And Pounds in for the score.
His face is unrecognizable.
This man was ice.
His location is untraceable.
We've never been able to prove if he even exists.
His target is unthinkable.
This is an FBI access code.
Remember, public and brutal.
It takes an army to protect a nation.
Someone got there!
But only one man to bring it down.
Operation's still a go.
Bruce Willis, Richard Gere, Sidney Poitier. The Jackal, rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Why am I always the last to know? When we got the Peterson account, I was the last to know. The merger? Last to know. Hey, we got a new logo?
Introducing Ship Alert from FedEx.com. More than tracking, it can email you the moment a package has been shipped.
First to know. Smith, the shipment just left Italy, and you heard it here first.
Smith was transferred a month ago.
Of course he was. I knew that.
Be the first to know with FedEx Ship Alert.
Shuffling papers all day long requires concentration. Someone hold my calls, I'm on a Big Mac vacation.
Right now, get some of Goodyear's best selected tires like Otwitch Reds, Eagles, and Wranglers, and get $50 or $75 good for officially licensed NFL merchandise at participating Goodyear retailers. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR. Great Goodyear treads, incredible NFL threads.
Supermodels come and go, but tonight...
Run, you look at you go!
A star is born. Cut! On a brand new King of the Hill, tonight on Fox.
It's not been a pleasant homecoming of sorts for Bobby Ross. First time he has ever played the Washington Redskins. Grew up in nearby Virginia, and Daryl Pounds has helped make it a long day for Ross.
And now that's the thing. Daryl Pounds, you know, he's playing and making big plays on the regular defense, but then he turns around and runs down and makes plays on the special teams.
Milburn brings it out across the 25, the 30, the 35, and all the way out to the 41-yard line.
Let's go back to the interception here. Ken Harvey is going to come inside. They're going to loop on the outside. Harvey is going to get the hit. And I thought that Blunden was throwing short outside. I'm not sure where he's trying to go with the ball. The hit definitely threw off the throw. But you can see everybody's going up the field. I think he's trying to... I'm not sure what he was trying to throw, but I'm sure about that. That's an interception for 6.
First time Pounds in his career has not only scored a touchdown, but also the first time he has ever intercepted 2 passes in a game. Right back in there. And we'll find Johnny Morton. The clock continues to roll. Closing in on the 8.5-minute mark. And a 23-point Washington lead.
That didn't last very long. He went from taking off the jacket to throwing to back to the clipboard. Man. He's got to be wondering, what the heck just happened? I was just out there. And now I'm back here making check marks. Life in the NFL. Well, not for long when you make those kind of throws.
You're right about that.
And get those kind of hits. Hey, he's got to have better protection, too. It's not all on him.
Well, with a loss today, the Lions would slip to 4-6. We mentioned they felt this one was a huge game to not only get back to the 500 mark, but again, considering the fact that they're heading back to the Silver Dome with 3 consecutive home games, including one with co-division leading Minnesota next weekend. Through the hands, nearly intercepted by Campbell.
Like we talked earlier, 2 of those games are against teams which they feel they can get a win. Indianapolis and Chicago.
Indianapolis, just for the record, is about to slip to 0-10. Cincinnati beating up on the Colts in Indianapolis today. Minnesota scores on a Leroy Horde touchdown with less than a minute to recapture the lead over Chicago. And that one will be down to the 2. I'm not laughing at the Bears or Dave Wanstead, incidentally. Our spotter, Terry Kane, a native of Chicago.
That's right. Put it on him. That's right, Terry.
He's
glad you're up
here in the booth.
Chuck Preeper, special teams coach. Always got that towel around the head. And when you're a special teams coach in the NFL, you need something to hold on to, because it gets tense. Some antacid in your pocket and a towel around your head.
You're right. Skate International Champion Series comes up from Germany next here on Fox. Norv Turner now under 8 minutes away from putting to bed a mark that he has been reminded of regularly during this week leading up to the game today against Detroit, and that is the fact that his team has never won a game leading up to the Dallas game or ever won a game following a Dallas game.
And that's a heck of a thing to have to think about. And you know, the more that goes on, you have to answer more and more questions every year. And you try to say, well, no, it's just a coincidence and it's just this and that. But look at those numbers, boy, and those are tough numbers.
You know, you brought up earlier.
Looks like it all.
We brought up earlier the inconsistencies as flags litter the field.
You know, one thing I noticed.
Part of the snap, false start. Number 84 in the offense. Half the distance to the goal line. Second.
One thing I noticed with Norv is that, you know, handling the offensive coordinator duties along with the head coach, that's a tough gig. Guys like Lindy and Fonte are trying to do that right now and have done it for a while, but it's tough. You got to be focused. Guys like Mike Holmgren, I mean, he does it. He's got a coordinator, but, you know, it's a hard thing to do. You got to be really focused on your offense and your plays and what you're calling, and let your coaches handle the defense and everything else.
Well, we asked Norv Turner about that 0-13 mark before and after a Dallas game. Here's what he had to say about it.
We've been ready to play the week before the Dallas game, the week after the Dallas game. I think if you went and looked at those games rather than looked at total outcome of scores, if you looked at those games, and I've done that, I'd look and say, hey, the week before the Dallas game a year ago, we played San Francisco here. We were a very well-prepared team. We played well. We lost a 19-16 football game to a very good football team.
So sometimes the numbers will indeed lie, according to Norv Turner. He won't have to worry about it anymore.
Look at Mitchell.
Still on his feet, first down all the way out to the 30, and that should, if it wasn't already, just about put it to bed.
You know, Mitchell's been a guy that I think has been able to do it in terms of punt returns and kickoffs. Everybody knows that on special teams, but when he gets in the running back position as a running back, he's got to feel his way around. It's a little bit different running down there. I think he wants to pick and hunt instead of go toward where the hole is. Oh, this says it all there. That's just this half. 19. I mean, what are the Redskins going to be in time of possession at the end of this game?
That's the best.
It'll be close to a record.
That's the best defense against Barry Sanders.
It is, without a doubt. It's not even close.
You know, but talking about the Redskins, Ron, for a minute, you touched on it during the opening of the telecast today, the inconsistency of Gus Frerotte and how important it is to have Terry Allen. and a good, strong running attack, because if indeed they get that and don't have to rely on Farad, they could make a run for the postseason.
Like I said, Gus is a guy that does some things very well right now. He's still developing as a quarterback. He's not there yet. And Norv Turner knows that he's not there yet, and they have to keep using the run game to protect him in that sense.
Stephen Davis chopped down at the 30-yard line. Well, we've talked about what the Lions have coming up. What about the Redskins? And Ron Pitts, you mentioned the fact that Washington, a couple of battles left still with front-running New York.
See, I think this NFC East is going to really, it's hot now, but it's really going to get hot. Because Washington has to play the Giants twice, and you got this big one here next week, Washington and Dallas. Things are going to get going. Philadelphia, the only problem with Philadelphia, you see, and I think they might play well for some reason against San Francisco Monday night, is that they don't do well away from home. That's the big hang-up for them. They can't seem to win away from home. But it's still anybody's race. Even though the Giants are up there now.
And again, that game for Washington later in the year at Arizona may be no gimme. They're going with a young quarterback out of Arizona State, Jake Plummer. By then, a few more weeks under his belt. So there are no quote-unquote gimmies in this league anymore. Ask that man, Bobby Ross. They lost to New Orleans this year, and they've beaten Green Bay.
You just know that. You just know. You think, Washington going out to Arizona, they're going to need to win.
This kid is something. Hey, Matt Turk, he is some kind of punter. And
Milburn has had a great day, but he fumbled the ball there.
And he covered it back up. Well, talking about the NFC East, mentioned the Redskins and the Cowboys get together next week. We're giving the Redskins the win in this one, leading 30-7 with 3 minutes left.
And you know what else? And you know what? These guys, everybody wants to see them down and wants to talk about what they can't do, but they're not out of it yet.
Nope. Philly will go for a win at home tomorrow to try to get back to 500.
I'm telling you, this thing here, this NFC East is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
And what about the Giants at 6-3? They're playing at Tennessee this afternoon.
This is a tough one, I think, because they've had the bye week. You know, they're a team that is seeing and feeling some success for the first time in a while, and it's easy to listen to your press clippings all week long, you know, and Tennessee is a tough team to play at Tennessee.
You know, the one thing the Giants have been able to do, Ron, and Norv Turner pointed this out in our conversation with him yesterday, that the other teams in the NFC East, at least at this point in the season, have been unable to do. The Giants have won the close games.
Yep. And then what goes on in the division is going to be key. A loss is a loss, and you never want that. But if you're going to have number one, you don't want them in the NFC, and then you don't want them in your division. So actually, if the Giants are going to get a loss, like I said, you never want one against an AFC team, would be better than having it against an NFC team, and definitely better than against a divisional opponent.
Third down and 5, and like to throw, converts on the first down, a catch made by Herman Moore. Meanwhile, for the Detroit Lions, in a nutshell, their season comes down to next weekend for all intents and purposes. They'll slip
absolutely right.
Under 500.
It comes down to next week, I think, you know, and not looking at that as a mathematical thing, but from the way they're playing and the things that are going on.
And they're playing a team that is obviously in front of them in the standings in Minnesota. And then you have the 2 games against them. Is a conversation we'll continue in a moment as we reach a 2-minute warning. It's been all Norv Turner's team today.
Miller Lite presents.
My name is John O'Neill. I believe I am the patron saint of the Packers. One night, I had a vision. Then I heard a voice. It said, "John, you will be the humble servant of the Green Bay faithful. From this night forward, you shall be known as St. Vince." Do you think these robes make me look fat?
I'm Kenny, a friend of Dick's. Miller Lite has asked me to find 4 cheerleaders to send to the Super Bowl. Today you're going to meet the Caesar brothers from Hawaii, USA. They have their own way of looking at cheerleading. So what do you think, America? Rah! Could the Caesar brothers be cheerleaders? Help us out. Participate where you buy and drink Miller Lite.
When the unexpected happens, Dodge Dakota swings into action. Standard dual airbags help guard you from the front. High-strength steel door beams help shield you from the side, while the front seats are designed to help protect you from the rear. When it came to building a safer truck, we considered all the angles. Dodge Dakota. It's full of surprises.
Tonight, Scully's deepest secret revealed.
What happened there? She's dying.
On the monumental 100th episode of The X-Files, tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Updated look at the NFC Central Division. Minnesota a winner today over Chicago. Green Bay leading late over the Rams in the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay a winner against Atlanta to go to 7-3. And Detroit would slip to 4-6, losing this one today. So again, that game next weekend for them against Minnesota, pretty much the entire year.
That guy being out today did not help. It hurt a lot.
Mitchell had to lead the game in the first half as Morton makes a catch and did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. Today's game produced by Pete Macheska and directed by Billy McCoy. Our associate director, Sean Gurjikoff, and our broadcast associate, Tom Yohe. Our technical producer, Danny Rotante. With us in the booth, Terry Kane, our spotter, and our statistician, Mark Big Daddy Wagner. Studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. And the senior producer of Fox Sports, Bill Brown. Executive producers, Ed Gorn and David Hill.
Williams. That kind of pretty much puts the bow around the whole package here today.
Rookie out of Nebraska is Williams. Let's listen to that hit. Boy, Jamel probably still celebrating that miracle victory. Let's listen one more time. You could hear it then on David Sloan.
It was
Well, the truck is 0 for 2.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, maybe we ought to try one more.
They've been 9 for 9 all day, but 9
trust
for
me,
11.
there was a guy that got hit down there. You can trust me on that one.
Well,
there was a tight end, number 86, that got rocked. I saw it. You saw it. It is there.
Well, you know, the guys and gals are working so hard down in the truck. Now we have to give them a chance to make it.
Oh, but nobody hears what they say to us, though. See, that's the thing. So we got to get them when we can.
Herman Moore making the reception will move the chains good enough for a first down. So when you're 0 for 2, you can step up to the foul line one more time. There we go.
There it is. Hey, you guys converted on third down there. That's all that matters. You moved the chains.
Pass into the end zone.
You notice now the defensive backs, especially the corners, are getting bigger in the league, but the Redskins have always liked smaller corners. And you look at Turner there. He's not a real big guy. And then, of course, you got Darrell Green. You know, not a real huge guy. Pound's not real big.
But they stepped out when they signed Dishman.
But that's what I'm saying. Then they go back, and that's a good point, because they wanted somebody that could go head-to-head with a guy like Michael Irvin, a bigger, strong guy. And that's what he was brought in for, and that's what he does. And you remember, he locked up on Irvin, too. I mean, he did a great job, and that ball's on the ground.
Sanders lost the handle, and the Redskins have recovered.
Well, that's a bigger exclamation point.
2 weeks in a row, that man right there has watched his offense just fall apart. Recovery made by Lamont Evans.
And you know, this is an offense that I'm not sure that they know quite yet what they want to be. I mean, they know they have Barry and they can be effective running the ball and he can bust a big one. But then they're using the fullback and experimenting with that, and they've got some 3 wide outs still in there. Like they don't want to let go totally of the old run and shoot days, and then some 2 tight ends.
Well, the Redskins will go to 6-4. The Lions will slip to 4-6. Norv Turner told us yesterday his team desperately needed a win today to start gaining some momentum for a run at the playoffs. They played their best game of the year in the victory against Chicago last week, but let's be honest, that's Chicago.
Yeah, and he's still taking nothing away from him or the way the team played. He still has to protect his quarterback and not let Gus get into a system where he's got to throw too much. And play action can be Gus Frerott's best friend in the future, I think, and with the way they're running the football.
He'll need it next week at Dallas. So the clock will run out. Bobby Ross's team hammered today in Washington 30-7. Lost Scott Mitchell early and really never had much of a chance after that. So the Redskins celebrate. And while we have a moment, let's send it down to Brett Haber on the field. Brett.
All right, Tommy, I'm here with Terry Allen. Another huge day for him. Terry, you know, this is a week when you play against one of the elite running backs of all time in Barry Sanders. He gets all the attention. You're a Pro Bowl running back also. How gratifying is it for you to have such a big game when he's the guy getting all the attention?
Well, I had to have a good game, and our offense had to be on the field in order to help our defense contain him. He got it loose once, and, you know, we had to just come back out and put more points up.
You know, consistency has been such an issue for this team all year. Very big for you guys to get 2 in a row, especially heading into Dallas. 6-4 is a big record for you.
Exactly. Every win here is big for us if we want to accomplish the things we talked about earlier, and we've got to go out and win every game because they're a must-win for us.
All right, Terry Allen acquitting himself again as one of the best running backs in the NFL. The Redskins 6-4, looking good for a playoff spot. Back up to you, Tommy.
All right, Brett, thank you very much, and we thank Terry Allen. Hetzy, I know you like that hairstyle.
I like that sideline do he had going on there. I think I'm going to that next week. Shave it low and let the sideburns grow, baby.
Well, I can't wait for that. And our audience right here in the greater D.C. area will catch it because we're going to be doing the Ravens and the Eagles.
But one thing I agree with Brett on there is, and with Terry, self-proclaimed, he is one of the top running backs in the NFL.
No question about it. Let's take a look at our Energizer play of the game. Defensively, a standout for the Redskins today, Daryl Pounds. Saw a lot of playing time when Chris Dishman was shaken up. And with Dishman on the sideline, Pounds, his second interception of the day, and on this, his first career NFL touchdown. Well, the Redskins now look forward to the showdown with the Dallas Cowboys next week. As you see, they go to 6-4. Dallas with a win today at 5-5. And the Giants in action in an interconference battle as we speak, taking on the Tennessee Oilers. Again, let's go downstairs to our main man, Brett Haber.
All right, Tommy, I'm here with Daryl Pounds. 2 interceptions for him today. His first ever for a touchdown. You know, this is a secondary that gets so much attention. You hear only about Darrell Green and Chris Dishman. What does it say about the depth of this unit, that a guy like yourself can emerge and have a huge day like this?
Well, you know, I'm playing behind 2 Pro Bowlers, and it's kind of hard sometimes, but I know I can play. And as you guys seen today, I can play. I made plays. That's what, you know, coaches stress. When you get a chance to go in there and make plays, make them.
I want you to talk about the interception. First ever for you as a touchdown. How'd that feel going in?
I felt great. You know, it's been a long year for me, and I've just been working hard every day. You know, and I just got the opportunity to catch the ball and run it in for a touchdown.
You know, this team has had a jinx sort of before and after the Dallas games, 0-13. This one breaks the streak. A lot of confidence to have 2 wins now going into a Cowboys game in Dallas.
You know what? We're just trying to, you know, duplicate the year we had at the beginning of the year last year. and go in and just make plays, come out with wins. And, you know, this is the second part of the season. You know, we have to do to go into the playoffs and everything, so that's what we plan on doing.
You know, you guys shut down Herman Moore in a big way. He's one of the elite receivers in the league. How you guys managed to pull that off?
We got Chris guarding him the whole day, you know. And when he was in the slot, you know, I was jamming up pretty good. He's a big guy, so, you know, he wasn't that quick coming off the ball. I mean, as far as, you know, he gave me an opportunity to get good jams on him, and that's what I did.
All right, we want to thank Darryl Pounds. Big day for him. First ever touchdown on interception. Way to go. Redskins 6-4. Back upstairs to Tommy.
All right, Brett, we thank you. And again, Darryl Pounds, the third-year corner out of Nicholls State, will return to Rao John, Maryland after this commercial and a word from your local Fox station.
Michael Jordan is CEO Jordan.
Hey, I'm going to McDonald's. You want anything?
Yeah, give me a Big Mac and fries.
Hey, did somebody say McDonald's? Coffee and a cheeseburger.
Number 3, and supersize it.
Cheeseburger, apple pie, Coke, and your call line 7.
Sorry, fell in the mailroom. Look, we need 4 Big Macs. Could you hurry, please? Thanks.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
As you may have read on the internet, in a national tasting of ice and regular beers, Brewmasters named one beer the best tasting beer in America. Oh, Milwaukee. So when you want the best tasting beer, now you know what to ask your server for.
Right now, get some of Goodyear's best selected tires like Aqua Treads, Eagles, and Wranglers, and get $50 or $75 good for officially licensed NFL merchandise at participating Goodyear retailers. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR. Great Goodyear treads, incredible NFL threads.
This is the interior of the burliest sport utility in its class. The one that can tow and carry more than any other. Now that's probably hard to believe when you're surrounded by all this. So to underscore the new Dodge Durango's serious credentials, I'm not only standing beside the most powerful V8 in the class, I'm wearing this manly flannel shirt. Durango. New ground for the new Dodge.
With Plymouth, this is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Take, for example, Plymouth Neon. You get all this. And now these special savings. Get $1,500 cash back or 1.9% APR, so you can save over $2,700 in finance charges. One more time. This is what you pay for, and this is what you get. Plymouth Neon, only at your local